20 minutes, we would know who's going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Follow me?
Right, Heminder, as you're telling me that, I'm looking at that image right now on my phone screen. Narendra Singh Tomar, as Heminder just pointed out, all smiles over there, sitting in between right there. That's Narendra Singh Tomar. You see Prahlad Patel right next to him, quite animated, so I wouldn't say he looks any upset. He doesn't look the part. VD Sharma over there again. He's looking quite animated. He seems to be, again, galvanizing all the legislators to put on their brightest smiles as they, of course, pose for this photograph. But then, of course, Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Just if my camera person Madan could zoom in on the image of Shivraj Singh Chouhan. He seems to know what's coming his way. He doesn't look very happy about what's possibly going to transpire in that meeting, in that legislative party meeting, for which we're waiting an official update from in terms of when that meeting will begin. But we believe that we're getting an update right now in terms of that meeting, which has just begun. My colleague Ravish is in fact bringing that news to us at the moment. Ravish is tracking all those developments, and what he's telling us is that the MLA meeting, the legislative party meeting of the Bharatiya Janata Party, has finally begun. So officially that meeting has kick-started. In moments from now, we should know who that leader is, the leader of the legislative party. Already you can see there's a lot of action that's happening over here, because suddenly the anxiety levels are really high, because they do know that suddenly word will come from inside that a particular individual, a name has been announced, and this is the name. Remember, there are people talking to various legislators inside. They have their sources. They're speaking to their staff. Everyone's trying to, just waiting for that one SMS, that one message possibly, that one WhatsApp update which will tell you who is the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. So that meeting of the BJP legislators has officially kick-started. But that photo, in fact, is very, very clear. It shows Narendra Tomar, all smiles, Prahlad Patel sort of animated, looking like he's saying a few things as that photograph is clicked. VD Sharma again looking like he's again trying to enthuse everyone to put on their brightest smiles as they pose for that photograph. So he's got his hand up as well. But the only man who seems to be sitting there with a very somber posture is Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Does this mean it's end game for Shivraj Singh Chouhan as Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister? What does this mean in terms of implications for the Lok Sabha elections and the BJP's prospects going into 2024? Will the cadres, will the supporters... Okay, there are images now of Prahlad Patel with Narendra Modi. So there are camps right here, okay? My camera person Madan will try and show you some of those images. We'll try and bring those images to our viewers. So that's an image of Prahlad Patel with Narendra Modi that his supporters are holding up. So there are little groups over here who are supporting their leaders and are hoping that their leader is the one that the top brass sitting in Delhi has decided on. Prahlad Patel, let's speak about Prahlad Patel, for instance. What goes in his favor is that he is an OBC face. The dominant population, close to about 50% of the population in Madhya Pradesh is OBC. BJP has already had only OBC chief ministers in the state of Madhya Pradesh, be it Uma Bharti in 2003, Babulal Gaur in 2004, Shivraj Singh Chouhan in 2005. Shivraj Singh Chouhan in 2005, 2008, 2013, 2020. Will it be 2023 as well? An OBC face throughout these three chief ministers that I named. Prahlad Patel fits that caste card. He's considered to be someone who's extremely low profile as well. But Heminder has been telling us about certain cons that go against Prahlad Patel. There are pros, there are cons as well. Heminder is now joining me as well. Heminder, take us through Prahlad Patel and his profile. What works for him, what doesn't work for him?
Well, Prahlad Patel comes from the OBC community. That is a plus for him. And Shivraj Singh Chouhan has been the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh for more than 16.5 years. He is also from the OBC community. If Shivraj Singh Chouhan has to be replaced, there has to be another OBC leader, and Prahlad Patel is from the OBC community. So that is a big plus for him. And also, remember, Madhya Pradesh is an OBC dominated state. If you are replacing a Chief Minister of 16.5 years from the OBC community, you got to replace him by another OBC leader, because the opposition is pitching for a caste-based census. They are talking about reservation, and they are doing so to woo the OBC community towards themselves. So the BJP has to be mindful of that fact. So Prahlad Patel, that's a plus for him. But then there is some minuses also for him. He has just won the election from Narsinghpur. He has been a member of parliament for a very long time. In fact, at one point in time, he was the longest serving member of parliament as well. So Prahlad Patel getting elected as an MLA for the first time, the negative that he has, that is being talked about, of course. You might not view it as a negative, but what one political observers are talking about is that he was a Minister of State with independent charge till about a year ago. And then he was made a Minister of State and was placed under a senior minister. So that was seen as a sort of a demotion. So would someone who had been demoted about a year ago would be promoted to the post of Chief Minister of an important state like Madhya Pradesh? That is the question mark. But of course, Prahlad Patel has a very strong base amongst his community members. He's a very strong leader. He's known to speak up his mind as well. Remember, he was the one who had left the Bharatiya Janata Party with Uma Bharti when Uma Bharti had left the BJP to form the Bharatiya Janshakti Party. Prahlad Patel was the biggest, tallest leader after Uma Bharti, who had left the Bharatiya Janata Party and joined the Bharatiya Janshakti Party. But their relations didn't last for long. The relationship went into some kind of a problem.
Let's try and speak to some people as well, because the anxiety levels, like I said, the suspense levels have gone up over here outside the BJP headquarters. Suspense जो है काफी बढ़ता जा रहा है. कुछ ही मिनटों की बात है शायद कि हमें पता चल जाएगा कि अगला मुख्यमंत्री कौन होगा मध्य प्रदेश का. आप किसको देखना चाहेंगे कुर्सी पर?
हम ओबीसी चेहरे को देखना चाहेंगे.
ओबीसी चेहरा शिवराज सिंह चौहान है, प्रहलाद पटेल
जी, क्योंकि छत्तीसगढ़ में आदिवासी चेहरा दिया है, तो हम चाहते हैं यहाँ ओबीसी दे. चाहे राजस्थान में महिला का चल ही रहा है, तो हम चाहते हैं यहाँ ओबीसी चेहरा आना चाहिए, चाहे वो शिवराज जी हो, प्रहलाद पटेल हो, जो भी ओबीसी हो.
आप किसको देखना चाहेंगे?
महिला रीति पाठक को.
रीति पाठक को, सिद्धि से रीति पाठक के लिए आप आए हैं यहाँ पर सपोर्ट जताने. क्यों रीति पाठक को, क्यों?
क्योंकि लाडली बहनों ने ही इस बार सरकार बनाने में विशेष योगदान दिया है, इसलिए लाडली बहनों के सम्मान के लिए रीति पाठक को मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जाना चाहिए.
Okay, so that's an interesting name that has been thrown into the mix. 6 probables. Here's a woman candidate. Riti Pathak has also been thrown into the mix. आप किसको देखना चाहेंगे?
हम भी पिछड़ा वर्ग से चाहेंगे कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान और प्रहलाद पटेल जी, इनका पूरा भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लाभ पूरे राष्ट्र में मिलेगा. लोकसभा जो चुनाव है, पिछड़ा वर्ग के दोनों वरिष्ठ नेता है, और चूंकि मैं लोधा लोधी समाज से हूं, तो बिल्कुल लोधा लोधी समाज से हम प्रहलाद पटेल जी को. हाँ,
लोधी समाज से प्रहलाद पटेल आते हैं.
मैं भी राजपूत.
ओबीसी मुख्यमंत्री 18 साल हो गया, पंडित मुख्यमंत्री भी हो गए, जनरल के भी हो गए, एससी एसटी से आज तक मध्य प्रदेश में कोई मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बना. आदिवासी मुख्यमंत्री एमपी में बनना चाहिए.
वो छत्तीसगढ़ में बन गया ना. छत्तीसगढ़ में
वो छत्तीसगढ़ अलग है,
छत्तीसगढ़ अलग है. छत्तीसगढ़ एमपी में मौका देना चाहिए. संगठन को आदिवासी मुख्यमंत्री बनना चाहिए और बनेगा. और आपको थोड़ी देर में घोषणा हो जाएगी कि आदिवासी एमपी का मुख्यमंत्री
कौन है, कौन नाम है आपके दिमाग?
संगठन जो तय नाम कर दे.
आदिवासी
क्यों नहीं आदिवासी?
छत्तीस नहीं, हम किसी उसका
नहीं. हाँ, मतलब हाँ, विरोध नहीं.
चूंकि छत्तीसगढ़ पहले मध्य प्रदेश में ही था, और जब छत्तीसगढ़ अलग राज्य बना तो आदिवासी मुख्यमंत्री से ही बना, और आज वर्तमान में भी आदिवासी मुख्यमंत्री. तो क्यों मध्य प्रदेश में पिछड़े वर्ग का नहीं होने? क्या पिछड़ा वर्ग समाज?
पर एक बात बताइए, आप सब यही सब कह रहे हैं, पिछड़ा वर्ग, ओबीसी, आदिवासी. क्या जाति ही एक क्राइटेरिया होना चाहिए? फैक्टर यही होना चाहिए? कोई काम कर सकता है कि नहीं, उसकी क्षमता है कि नहीं, वो केपेबल है कि नहीं, ये नहीं होना चाहिए?
जिसकी जो हिस्सेदारी, भागीदारी, उसकी उतनी हिस्सेदारी होना चाहिए. क्योंकि जो असंतोष उमड़ता है ना, भले ही अपन उसको प्राथमिकता समाजवाद को मत दो, जातिवाद को मत दो, पर चूंकि कहीं न कहीं ये देखा जाता है, जैसे अभी इन्होंने कहा कि महिला का नाम क्यों लिया। ऐसे कुछ न कुछ कारण होते हैं उसमें। यहाँ 70% ओबीसी लोग हैं, तो क्यों ना ओबीसी का चेहरा होना चाहिए।
मध्य प्रदेश की सरकार लाने में महिलाओं का विशेष योगदान है, इसलिए इस बार मध्य प्रदेश को महिला मुख्यमंत्री जरूर होना चाहिए और उसमें रीति पाठक का होना जरूरी है।
आप ये बताइए कि किसी की, आप क्योंकि आपने आदिवासी जाति का नाम लिया, किसी की क्षमता कुछ नहीं उसका भी तो कोई मतलब होना चाहिए कि नहीं।
मैडम, आदिवासी वोट बैंक के कारण ही, SC ST वोट बैंक के कारण ही MP में सरकार बनती है। SC ST वोट बैंक पिछले बार कट गए थे, यहाँ की सरकार नहीं बन पाई थी।
Okay, apologies. Paulami Saha is reporting from the ground. We've lost a connection briefly, but she was getting us some interesting voices from the ground. And you can see that BJP supporters of all of the contenders have now gathered outside the BJP headquarters. It's been an agonizing wait for them for the last 8 days. But it comes down to the next few minutes, which is when we're expecting an announcement to be made. The pictures you see on your screens are from just a few moments ago when there was a photo op of the central observers seated with all of the MLAs as well. Let's in fact get you more voices from the ground of BJP supporters and who they think should be the next chief minister.
युवाओं को मौका मिलना चाहिए। सबसे ज्यादा वोटर मध्य प्रदेश में युवा हैं, तो हम युवाओं की भी यही मांग है कि युवा प्रतिनिधित्व होना चाहिए और युवा बहुत सारे हैं।
नाम लेने से डर क्यों नहीं?
प्रहलाद, मैं नाम ले रहा हूँ, प्रहलाद पटेल जी भी युवा हैं और भी अन्य नेता हैं जो युवा हैं और ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया जी भी युवा है।
अब पब्लिक मध्य प्रदेश की MP चाहती है कि इस बार CM का चेहरा बदलाव हो। हाँ, हम चाहते हैं कि एक अच्छा विकास करेंगे और प्रहलाद पटेल को,
शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने नहीं किया
विकास उन्होंने किया है, बहुत अच्छा किया है और बाकी इस बार चाहते हैं कि MP का CM में
बदलाव होना चाहिए। इस बार
बदलाव होना चाहिए।
शिवराज जी ने जो काम किया 20 साल के अंदर, वो एक ऐतिहासिक कार्य किया है। जिस तरीके से नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने हिंदुस्तान को एक नई ऊंचाई पहुंचाया है, मध्य प्रदेश को भी शिवराज जी ने एक नई ऊंचाई पहुंचाया है।
All right, let's take this across to Hemendra Sharma for more details. Hemendra, the meeting currently is underway. Any information you're really picking up on what's happening inside? Hemendra, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hemendra,
yeah.
I was asking you about
Paulami,
what's
the
happening
meeting
inside the meeting. Do you have any information right now on what's playing out?
BD Sharma. The meeting was started. BD Sharma, the state BJP president, started the meeting. His speech is going on right now. And the next step probably would be that the observers would ask someone to propose, the decision would be conveyed to them, and thereafter there would be a proposer. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, I think we should be having the name of the person who's going to be the next chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. But the meeting is started. BD Sharma, the state president, started the meeting with his speech, and the speech of BD Sharma is going on inside right now.
Okay, so VD Sharma is the state BJP chief currently speaking, one of the contenders also. His name also is cropped up repeatedly when you talk about front runners really in the CM race. Only a handful of people essentially, Hemendra, right now have an inkling of which way this could go or really who's going to be the next chief minister. All the MLAs seated right now in the BJP headquarters also have no idea on who could be leading in this race right now. So they also have been kept in ambiguity in the dark for the last 8 days. We're having a bit of a problem with that connection. Apologies. But Hemendra, if you can hear me, I was also asking you about, in that meeting, how there are only a very few people, a handful of people essentially, who know what's going to happen next. All the MLAs completely clueless. They've also been kept in the dark for the last 8 days.
Well, no one really has any idea as to what is in the mind of the BJP High Command. It is only after the observers, they speak, they reveal the mind of the BJP High Command, would it be known to those inside the BJP office, inside the hall where this meeting is happening, that they would come to know actually what the BJP High Command is thinking about Modi. The election slogan this time around was, Madhya Pradesh ke man mein मोदी एंड मोदी के मन में मध्य प्रदेश, बट मोदी के मन में who is the leader for Madhya Pradesh, that is not yet known, and who is the leader that is there in the mind of Prime Minister Modi for Madhya Pradesh would be revealed by the observers. The meeting has already started. The meeting was started by the state BJP President V.D. Sharma. He is talking right now, and after his speech probably the observers would talk, and then we would know what the party BJP leadership has in mind for the state as far as the next Chief Minister of the state is concerned.
Okay, so you see those pictures on your screens. Those are the people who are currently in contention. There are, of course, many dark horses also in the race. But keep in mind that one of the biggest factors in this kind of a decision for the BJP is that they have to look at repercussions in the 2024 battle. And that's why also they will look into the composition, what that leader brings on the table. Very importantly, there will be the caste factor, in which case they will ensure that it is an OBC face who is the chief minister to essentially continue the legacy of Shivraj Singh Chouhan. That is, of course, with the assumption that it is not Shivraj Singh Chouhan. We're going to continue getting you all the latest updates. The meeting currently is underway. Any moment now, announcement on who is the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh expected. I'm slipping into a very short break. We'll be right back.
You are watching India Today.
Today Group sweeps the ITA 2023 awards from Best English News Channel India Today TV to Best Hindi News Channel Aaj Tak, and the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti Exemplary Leadership.
ये गर्व का मौका है कि मेरे नारी शक्ति के समर्थन और संकल्प को इस मंच ने और ताकत दी है। लंबे वक्त से बहुत से लोग ये बताते रहे कि एक आदमी की सफलता के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ होता है। अब वक्त बदला है। हर सफलता खुद हासिल करने के लिए हम सब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नींव आत्मनिर्भर नारी शक्ति ही बनेगी। एक नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इस सम्मान के साथ मुझे मिली है। मैं इसे अपनी पूरी कमिटमेंट से निभाऊंगी।
Most trusted, most awarded, India Today, India's maximum channel. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
The state of Jammu and Kashmir does not retain any element of sovereignty after the execution of the instrument of accession and the issuance of the proclamation dated 25 November 1949, by which the Constitution of India was adopted. The state of Jammu and Kashmir does not have internal sovereignty, which is distinguishable from the powers and privileges enjoyed by other states in the country. Article 370 was a feature of asymmetric federalism and not sovereignty.
जो यूनानिमस जजमेंट थी, ये सुनकर बहुत निराशा हुई, बहुत अफसोस हुआ। मैं शुरू से ही कह रहा था कि दो अदारे हैं जो इसका फैसला कर सकता है, एक पार्लियामेंट मरकजी सरकार और दूसरा सुप्रीम कोर्ट। 4 महीने इस पर बहस हुई पार्लियामेंट के अंदर और उसके बाद जो आज यूनानिमस फैसला आया उससे मेरे ख्याल में जम्मू कश्मीर के सभी लोग, चाहे वो कश्मीर के हों या जम्मू सूबा के, वो खुश नहीं है।
Watching India Today.
Hello and welcome back to this coverage, our rolling coverage of Kaun Banega Mukhyamantri in Madhya Pradesh. That meeting, that very crucial meeting that will finalize the name of the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh is currently underway at the BJP headquarters here in Bhopal, the capital city, right behind me. And you can see the number of supporters. Madan, my camera person, will just pan the camera around and will show you the number of supporters and cadres of the party who've gathered over here in anticipation of that announcement which the central observers Manohar Lal Khattar, K. Lakshman and Asha Lakda will be making. And already there are small groups and camps over here of various probable candidates who are extending their support to them, raising voice for them, sloganeering in favor of them, be it Shivraj Singh Chouhan, be it Prahlad Patel, be it Narendra Singh Tomar. There are several supporters who've gathered over here, but that decision is known only to the top brass in Delhi. They will be communicating it to the central observers who will make that announcement inside that legislative party meeting, and shortly we'll get word from inside that meeting as to who will be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. There's a lot of sloganeering that's happening behind me right now because they're thinking that possibly this sort of muscle flexing or show of strength will add some pressure, but that decision has already been made. The names have been finalized. A lot of deliberations have gone down into finalizing those names. In fact, with the 6 probables that we've been naming constantly through our shows through the day, we also know that they've met with the top brass. They've met with Amit Shah, they've met with JP Nadda. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, of course, stayed right here in Bhopal, so he did not meet with either of them since, of course, the results were announced. But then, of course, he did meet JP Nadda, I beg your pardon, he did meet JP Nadda in Gwalior when JP Nadda arrived there the day after the results. So there was a meeting, he did receive JP Nadda. So I stand corrected over there. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, while he's been here in Bhopal, he did have a meeting with the BJP national president who came down to Gwalior. Then, of course, Narendra Singh Tomar, Prahlad Patel, Kailash Vijayvargiya, VD Sharma, Jyotiraditya Scindia. Everyone has met with Amit Shah and JP Nadda over the last week in Parliament, outside Parliament, at their residences. We've been tracking all of those hectic parleys that have been taking place, and 3 very long meetings that took place at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg in Delhi, where the Prime Minister resides. He sat down with Amit Shah and JP Nadda on day 1, and then with Amit Shah again on day 2. And on day 3 with Amit Shah, again, long meetings in the evening after Parliament got over in order to finalize the 3 names of the chief ministers of the Hindi heartland states that the BJP won: Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. Chhattisgarh, we already know, has got its name. Tribal leader Vishnu Dev Sai has been named the chief minister. So will they get the caste arithmetic right here in Madhya Pradesh as well? The dominant caste being OBC. So will it be a chief minister from the OBC community? Iminder, my colleague, is now joining us at the moment. Iminder, while in the past the BJP may have experimented with names, be it a Haryana where it's Jat dominated, but they gave a non-Jat candidate Manohar Lal Khattar, or Maharashtra, which is known for
2019, and after 2019, it seems like they're going back to the tried and tested formula, from giving a Lingayat CM in Karnataka, Basavaraj Bomai, to, of course, Bhupendra Patel, a Patidar in Gujarat. So will they stick to the tried and tested formula in Madhya Pradesh?
Well, as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, it's a diverse state. I mean, there are several states within one state. Even after Chhattisgarh was carved out of Madhya Pradesh, there remains several areas which are distinct on their own. For example, the Vind region, the Gwalior-Chambal region, the Malwa region, so Bundelkhand. So these are regions that vote differently at different points in time. That has happened in the past. So a complex state like this one, it looks highly unlikely that the BJP would do some kind of an experiment with the Lok Sabha elections around the corner. So it would be someone who's tested man for the Bharatiya Janata Party top leadership, someone who's not just tested but trusted as well. But having said that, the kind of majority that the Bharatiya Janata Party has got in these elections in Madhya Pradesh, the brute majority that they've got, even after 20 years of rule in the state, the Bharatiya Janata Party's top leadership is completely in control of the organization and also of the circumstances. So they can take any step, and that's why probably people are talking of names like Tomar, Shivraj Singh Chouhan, Vijay Vargiya, V.D. Sharma, Kailash Vijayvargiya. But at the same time, they are also saying, in the same breath, they are saying that it could be someone from outside as well, someone whose name has not been discussed at all, someone who has not been spoken about as well. Remember when the last time around, during this Rajya Sabha elections, this happened several years back, there were many top contenders for this Rajya Sabha berth, and the BJP all of a sudden announced the name of Sumer Singh Solanki. He was at that time a professor of history in Bardwani. No one knew his name, but he came from the RSS background and he had worked extensively amongst tribals. So this kind of experiment has happened in the past, but I don't think so that they can experiment or do an experiment of this sort when it comes to the post of chief minister, and especially so when we have these Lok Sabha elections around the corner. So the Bharatiya Janata Party has to keep this Lok Sabha, and probably that's why Shivraj Singh Chouhan, while presenting his case to the party high command, has been talking about Mission 29, that he's going to win all 29 seats in the Lok Sabha elections for the party, and the women folks of the state are firmly standing behind him, as has been exhibited in the results of the recently concluded elections, where women voters extensively voted for the BJP because of the Ladli Behna Yojana. That has been some sort of a game changer. So Shivraj Singh Chouhan pitching it that way around, Bharatiya Janata Party realizing and knowing, very well aware of the fact that the elections are around the corner, they have to take the Bharatiya Janata Party position from here on to a much stronger position, and they're working for that. So various names, various combinations are being worked out. Finally, it's just a matter of a few minutes from now. The meeting is already underway inside. V.D. Sharma started the meeting, and now we are given to understand that other speakers have also started to speak. Very soon we will come to know who's going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh and how that process is going to be completed. Whether it's going to be just reference of one name, someone proposing a name and other backing it, or is there going to be a consensus of sorts that is going to be extracted from the people who are sitting inside the BJP office right now?
सस्पेंस जो है काफी बढ़ता जा रहा है. कुछ ही मिनटों की बात है शायद कि हमें पता चल जाएगा कि अगला मुख्यमंत्री कौन होगा मध्य प्रदेश का. आप किसको देखना चाहेंगे कुर्सी पर?
हम ओबीसी चेहरे को देखना चाहेंगे.
ओबीसी चेहरा शिवराज सिंह चौहान है, प्रहलाद पटेल।
जी क्योंकि छत्तीसगढ़ में आदिवासी चेहरा दिया है तो हम चाहते हैं यहाँ ओबीसी दे। चाहे राजस्थान में महिला का चल ही रहा है तो हम चाहते हैं यहाँ ओबीसी चेहरा आना चाहिए, चाहे वो शिवराज जी हो, प्रहलाद पटेल हो, जो भी ओबीसी हो।
आप किसको देखना चाहते
महिला रीति पाठक को।
रीति पाठक को, सिद्धि से रीति पाठक के लिए आप आए हैं यहाँ पर सपोर्ट जताने। क्यों रीति पाठक को, क्यों?
क्योंकि लाडली बहनों ने ही इस बार सरकार बनाने में विशेष योगदान दिया है, इसलिए लाडली बहनों के सम्मान के लिए रीति पाठक को मुख्यमंत्री बनाया जाना चाहिए।
Okay, so that's an interesting name that has been thrown into the mix. 6 probables. Here's a woman candidate. Riti Pathak has also been thrown into the mix. आप किसको देखना चाहेंगे?
हम भी पिछड़ा वर्ग से चाहेंगे कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान और प्रहलाद पटेल जी, इनका पूरा भारतीय जनता पार्टी को लाभ पूरे राष्ट्र में मिलेगा। लोकसभा जो चुनाव है, पिछड़ा वर्ग के दोनों वरिष्ठ नेता है और चूंकि मैं लोधा लोधी समाज से हूँ तो बिल्कुल लोधा और लोधी समाज से हम प्रहलाद पटेल जी को।
हाँ, लोधी समाज से प्रहलाद पटेल आते हैं।
मैं भी राजनीतिक
ओबीसी मुख्यमंत्री 18 साल हो गया, पंडित मुख्यमंत्री भी हो गए, जनरल के भी हो गए, एससी एसटी से आज तक मध्य प्रदेश में कोई मुख्यमंत्री नहीं बना। आदिवासी मुख्यमंत्री एमपी में बनना चाहिए।
So you just heard what BJP supporters have to say, many of them gathering, rooting for their own leader, but mostly the voices from outside the BJP headquarters is this. They say you must ensure that the Chief Minister is an OBC face. Right now, at this point, inside the BJP headquarters where the meeting is underway, VD Sharma, who is in fact the BJP chief of Madhya Pradesh, is speaking, and we can get you now details of what he's saying. He's speaking about how organization is supreme. This election result has proven the same, thanking all the Karyakartas for the victory and for all of the work that they've put into this election. Right now, Manohar Lal Khattar, Haryana Chief Minister, who's been sent there as a central observer, is also speaking. Remember, it's the central observers who will go ahead and nominate, and then the announcement will be made on who is the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. So the MLAs seated there have no idea. The communication has come directly from the High Command in Delhi, and now the central observers are the ones who will be communicating to the MLAs who exactly will be the Chief Minister. Hemendra Sharma is joining us with more on that. Hemendra, it definitely seems like most of the BJP Karyakarta supporters who are gathered there outside the BJP headquarters are saying ensure it's an OBC face to carry forward the legacy of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, if of course it's not Shivraj Singh Chouhan himself.
Well, the people who have come outside the BJP office today, all of them are supporters of the BJP, and some of them are supporters of Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Some might be supporting Prahlad Patel, some might be supporting someone else, but overall they are all supporters of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and they are pitching for their respective leaders. But the case is not like that. Even no matter whom they support or no matter whom they are pitching for, the decision has been taken by the BJP's High Command, and the decision is being conveyed to the newly elected legislatures inside the BJP office right now. BD Sharma, the state president, has just concluded his speech. He has talked about the importance of the organization, how the organization worked in these elections, and how the organization ensured that it reached to the last possible voter. After that, Manohar Lal Khattar, the central observer and also the Chief Minister of Haryana, he has risen to speak. He's speaking inside the hall right now. We'll soon get to know what he's talking about. We are getting some information about what he's talking. Very soon we should have the name of the person that has been sent from Delhi. How it unfolds, what is the procedure, that also we should come to know within a few moments. But as I told you earlier, the decision has already been taken. The decision would be conveyed, and after that the procedure would be completed, whatever that procedure is, whether they want to extract a consensus or whether there is going to be a voice vote or whether there is just going to be authorizing everything, leaving everything on to the High Command. That remains to be seen. That procedure, once that is adopted, would also be known to us. But right now, Manohar Lal Khattar, the central observer, he is speaking inside the hall as we are speaking.
Manohar Lal Khattar currently speaking, one of the central observers who's currently there at that meeting. We saw what played out yesterday in Chhattisgarh, Hemendra. It was very smooth. The announcement was made, all the MLAs were on board. Is that how it's going to be in Madhya Pradesh, or do you foresee some sort of rumbling playing out when that announcement is made, that there could be some MLAs who say, look, we wanted a certain somebody else, we wanted Shivraj Singh Chouhan if it's not him? Do you see that playing out? Okay, a bit of a problem there with Hemender's connection. Hemender, if you can hear me, do you think that there could be some drama that plays out also
Yes,
after
I have
the
a piece
announcement?
of breaking news.
Sure. Go ahead,
I've got a piece of breaking news. Mohan Yadav. Mohan Yadav is going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. That's the news that we are getting from inside. Mohan Yadav would possibly... 1 second. So there's pin drop silence over here, Polemy, as I'm talking. I've just got information from inside that
Okay, we're
Mohan
getting some
Yadav
news
is...
that's coming in at the moment. This is, of course... Okay, we'll try and reconnect with my colleague Heminder, who's bringing us some breaking piece of information. He's awaiting, of course, confirmation.
Breaking news that's coming in. Polemy and Hemender reporting for us that Mohan Yadav is the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. First news break coming in here on India Today. We're getting you the inside track of what's happening in the huddle. We can tell you that the central observers have conveyed to MLAs of the BJP right now that it is the MLA from Ujjain, Mohan Yadav, who has been chosen as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Big surprise coming in. There were a lot of names doing the rounds. Was Mohan Yadav really in the mix? There was a lot of talk of the likes of Prahlad Patel and several other OBC faces being really the lead. But at this point, it's Mohan Yadav, MLA from Ujjain South, who is the chosen one. And this has come as a huge surprise for everyone, including the BJP supporters gathered outside there at the BJP headquarters. Now, Mohan Yadav is an MLA from Ujjain South, has served as a minister, was in fact the Minister of Higher Education of Madhya Pradesh, and he is now going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. In fact, at just about 58, it looks like the BJP has decided they're going to be going in for a new mix, for a new face, and that's why Mohan Yadav has been chosen. What this confirms is that it's the end of Mamaji's rule in Madhya Pradesh. Shivraj Singh Chouhan not being chosen. It's Mohan Yadav. Polemy.
That's right. That's the information that's coming in right now. Mohan Yadav will be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. The MLA from Ujjain Dakshin. The MLA from Ujjain Dakshin, Mohan Yadav, is going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. He became an MLA for the first time in 2013, and then in 2018 he was a cabinet minister in the Shivraj Singh Chouhan government. He was the Minister for Higher Education. A big surprise. We discussed so many names, Dakshita, so many probables in terms of who could be the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, from Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the caretaker Chief Minister, to Narendra Singh Tomar, to Prahlad Patel, to Kailash Vijayvargiya, to Jyotiraditya Scindia, to V.D. Sharma. But Mohan Yadav is expected to be the next Chief Minister of the state of Pradesh. Let's try and speak to some of the supporters of the Chief Minister incumbent over here, the Chief Minister, I beg your pardon, designate over here. Already there is a great sense of surprise over here. क्या आप आश्चर्यचकित हैं?
बिल्कुल, हमारे उज्जैन संभाग से हमारे सीएम साहब रहेंगे. मैं उन्हें बधाई देता हूं अपनी ओर से, अपने परिवारजनों की ओर से. बहुत बहुत बधाई. बढ़िया, अच्छा लगा. जय श्री महाकाल.
आपको लगा था कि मोहन यादव जी हैं, रेस में हैं?
नहीं, ये राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व का विचार बनाया है उन्होंने. जो एक छोटा कार्यकर्ता भी सीएम बन सकता है. मोहन जी यादव 3 बार के हमारे विधायक रहे हैं, उन्हें बधाई.
मोहन जी यादव के काम के बारे में बताइए, क्योंकि आप उज्जैन से आते हैं.
नहीं, मोहन जी यादव एक सरल व्यक्तित्व के धनी है. छोटे कार्यकर्ताओं पे पूरा ध्यान देते हैं और लगातार अपनी जीत का परचम वहाँ पे लहराते हुए आए हैं.
क्या यहाँ पर लोग थोड़ा आपको आश्चर्य हुआ नाम?
नहीं, आश्चर्य नहीं, बहुत अच्छा हुआ. बहुत ही अच्छे सीएम बनेंगे. वो बहुत ही अच्छे इंसान है. जो भी पार्टी का निर्णय लिया बहुत ही अच्छा था.
आपको लगता है कि ये सही?
नहीं.
क्यों?
सीएम शिवराज सिंह चौहान ही रहेंगे.
नहीं, मामा तो फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी थी, लेकिन अब जो भी बना अच्छा है.
देख लो, मामा ही रहेंगे.
मामा ही रहेंगे? ऐसे कैसे? मुख्यमंत्री मोहन यादव?
नहीं, हम बता रहे हैं.
आपको लगता है कि मामा इस रेट से हटेंगे नहीं?
यादव का डिक्लेयर हो गया, सुनने में आ रहा है।
हाँ जी,
डिक्लेयर हो गया।
आप बताइए क्या।
हमने तो पहले ही कहा था कि ओबीसी, आपको याद होगा।
कहा था, तो आपको कैसा लगता है चॉइस?
हालांकि हम तो शिवराज जी अच्छे थे, लेकिन यदि वो हटते हैं तो हमने तो ओबीसी चेहरा बोला ही था।
तो आपको इस चेहरे पर कोई आपत्ति?
ओबीसी चेहरा है ना, जिसकी जितनी भागीदारी उसकी इतनी हिस्सेदारी।
अच्छा, तो आप बताइए आपको क्या लगता है? अच्छा,
जी सरप्राइज तो हुए हैं, लेकिन संगठन ने जो निर्णय लिया है वो सही साबित होगा।
संगठन ने निर्णय लिया है तो सही होगा।
हाँ, मुख्यमंत्री के सही साबित होंगे, ऐसी उम्मीद करते हैं।
बताइए।
कोई सोच नहीं रहा था कि मोहन यादव जी बनेंगे। सब लोग सोच रहे थे प्रहलाद जी पटेल या नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी ही बनना चाह रहे थे, क्योंकि केंद्र के
मोहनलाल खट्टर का हुआ था।
केंद्र में बहुत
यहाँ पर्यवेक्षक है। मोहनलाल खट्टर जी पहली बार हरियाणा में विधायक बने और मुख्यमंत्री बन गए, और ये वैसे ही चौंकाने वाला
जब मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी का नाम कभी किसी के सामने आया नहीं था,
और
सोच भी नहीं था,
और वो आज पर्यवेक्षक भी है यहाँ।
हाँ, ये काफी इंटरेस्टिंग।
तो जैसा हरियाणा में हुआ था वैसे ही मध्य प्रदेश में हो गया।
पार्टी ने वही किया, पार्टी ने सरप्राइज कर
बिल्कुल किया। मध्य प्रदेश में बिल्कुल साफ समझ में आ रहा था कि कोई नया नाम आएगा, चौंकाने वाले रिजल्ट आएंगे और मोदी के मन में जो है वो आएगा। तो संघ से निश्चित रूप से जो है मोहन यादव का नाम निकल के आया, और आरएसएस का व्यक्ति जो मध्य प्रदेश में मुख्यमंत्री बन के बैठा है, और मोहन यादव सबके साथ लेके चलने वाले, सबका विकास करने वाले, और मोहन यादव मोदी के मन में थे, इसलिए मोहन यादव को बनाया गया है।
विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ता रहे, अच्छे कुशल संगठनकर्ता भी है, और सरकार में मंत्री रहते हुए उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया। उच्च शिक्षा में जो सुधार हुए हैं उसमें उनकी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका है।
आपको लगता है कि चॉइस सही रहा?
हम तो कार्यकर्ता हैं, जो भी बनेगा, लेकिन उनको हम पर्सनली जितना जानते हैं उस नाते मुझे लगता है ठीक चयन हुआ है।
और बताइए पर्सनली क्या जानते कि उनके स्वभाव के बारे में?
सरल और सहज स्वभाव के हैं। अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद के वह राष्ट्रीय मंत्री रहे हैं, लंबे समय तक पूर्णकालिक कार्यकर्ता के रूप में वह उन्होंने इस मध्य प्रदेश और मध्य प्रदेश के बाहर काम भी किया है, और संगठन का भी अच्छा अनुभव है, और उनको सरकार चलाने का भी अनुभव है। और मैं मानता हूं कि उनके नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश विकसित मध्य प्रदेश जो था उसको और आगे ले जाएंगे, ये मेरी शुभकामनाएं भी है।
क्या प्रतिक्रिया यादव के नाम?
जो पार्टी ने निर्णय लिया है बहुत अच्छे हैं। वो पहले भी विद्यार्थी परिषद से बहुत पुराने कार्यकर्ता, सरल हैं और कार्यकर्ताओं के बीच में मिलनसार हैं। और जो उच्च शिक्षा मंत्री जो अभी थे, उच्च शिक्षा मंत्री में जो भी उनने मध्य प्रदेश शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में निर्णय लिए हैं वो बहुत ही अभूतपूर्व हैं, और वो हमें उम्मीद है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश के विकास में बहुत ही योगदान देंगे। वो बहुत ही सरल और व्यवहार के धनी हैं।
डॉक्टर मोहन यादव जी एक अच्छा नाम मध्य प्रदेश के लिए निकल के आया है। निर्विवाद नाम है, संघ की पृष्ठभूमि से हैं, पूर्व छात्र नेता रहे हैं, विद्यार्थी परिषद के स्थापित छात्र नेता रहे हैं, लंबे समय तक संगठन मंत्री के रूप में उन्होंने कार्य किया, और हायर एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर के रूप में उन्होंने क्रांतिकारी शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में निर्णय लिए हैं। और उन्होंने ही निर्णय लिया था कि जो शिक्षा से जुड़े हुए छात्रों के जो राजनीति से प्रेरित मामले हैं, तो उन्होंने बहुत सारे मुकदमे भी छात्र हित में वापस लिए थे। ऐसे अनेकों क्रांतिकारी निर्णय, और संघ की ओर से ये नाम आया है, नया नाम है, बिल्कुल निर्विवाद नाम है, और निश्चय ही मध्य प्रदेश में जो विकास का क्रम है वो और तेज गति से मध्य प्रदेश विकास की मार्ग पर अग्रसर होगा।
नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर को भी पद मिला है, तो ये तो काफी इंटरेस्टिंग है। क्या पद मिला है उनको नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर, क्योंकि सारे इतना दिग्गज नेता है पार्टी में, सबको तो स्टेट कैबिनेट में स्पीकर के तौर पर एडजस्ट तो करना ही पड़ेगा। पर आपको लगता है कि एक चेंज आया है, जनरेशनल चेंज? नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जो खबर आ रही है स्पीकर बन गए हैं अब असेंबली के।
निसंदेह हमें पूर्ण अनुमान था, जिस प्रकार से छत्तीसगढ़ में माननीय रमन सिंह जी को सीनियर हमारे लीडर हैं, पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री हैं, हमें अनुमान था कि अगर कोई नया नाम आएगा तो नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी को लंबे समय का अपना अनुभव है, संवैधानिक अनुभव है, और लंबे समय से हमारे वो सीनियर लीडर रहे हैं। उस नाते जिस प्रकार से हमें मेजॉरिटी मिली है, कोई न कोई सीनियर लीडर इस स्पीकर के रूप में हम देखना चाह रहे थे, और माननीय नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी उसके सर्वथा
देख रहे। सीएम सिक्योरिटी पहुंच रही है, मोहन यादव शायद इसी में बैठ के निकलेंगे, उनके लिए सिक्योरिटी पहुंच रही है इस वक्त, तो काफी यहाँ पर जो है हलचल बढ़ गई है. There is a lot of action that's taking place. We are of course waiting for all of these to come back, all of these legislators to come out right now. What we're also learning is that Jagdish Devda and Rajesh Shukla Deputy CM बन गए हैं, नरेंद्र तोमर स्पीकर बन गए हैं. जगदीश देवड़ा, राजेश शुक्ला उप मुख्यमंत्री, डेप्यूटी चीफ मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर इज द स्पीकर. एक तरह से आपको लगता है कि जेनरेशनल शिफ्ट आया है, जनरेशन बदली है मध्य प्रदेश में. शिवराज सिंह चौहान का एक जनरेशन चला जा रहा था, अभी एक युवा नेता सामने आ रहा है, वो मुख्यमंत्री होगा.
युवा नेता बिल्कुल मुख्यमंत्री होगा और हमें मध्य प्रदेश को वह प्रगति देंगे, उन्नति देंगे. यही पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता एवं मध्य प्रदेश की जनता की यही पुकार है कि इस प्रदेश में और अधिक विकास के कार्य हों और अच्छा विकास हो. हमें पूर्ण उम्मीद है कि मोहन यादव जी ये कार्य कर कर दिखाएंगे और वह करेंगे ये कार्य. और हमारे जो स्पीकर हैं वह भी अच्छे, नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी जो बने हैं वह भी बहुत अच्छी पर्सनालिटी हैं, अच्छे मंजे हुए नेता हैं. जो अभी केंद्र में जो अभी हमारे कृषि मंत्री थे, कृषि मंत्री थे केंद्र में, वह जो निर्णय हुआ है यह भी बहुत अच्छा निर्णय हुआ है. और जो
उम्मीदें काफी है. There are a lot of expectations. Heminder, my colleague, is also joining us. Heminder broke this news first here on India Today that Mohan Yadav will be the new chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. Heminder, I'm going to ask you this question. Are you surprised?
Well, absolutely. No one expected the name of Mohan Yadav to be the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. No one expected that Mohan Yadav could be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. In fact, I'm surrounded here by BJP workers. The moment we flashed this, the moment we said that Mohan Yadav is going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, they were stunned. They said there is no supporter of Mohan Yadav here right now. Let's find one. But I have managed to find one. Here he is. बताइए मोहन यादव जी के बारे में पहले बताइए.
मोहन यादव जी का राजनीतिक जीवन विद्यार्थी परिषद से शुरू हुआ. 2003 में टिकट के लिए उज्जैन से बड़नगर से टिकट मांगी थी. उज्जैन से बड़नगर पैदल गए तो दीदी ने बुला के कहा, बेटा मैंने टिकट शांतिलाल दवाई की दे दी है, अगली बार तेरी टिकट पक्की. उसके बाद यादव जी विकास प्राधिकरण में रहे, उसके बाद MLA बने, फिर शिक्षा मंत्री बने.
आरएसएस की पृष्ठभूमि से आते हैं.
हाँ, आरएसएस की पृष्ठभूमि से आते हैं.
आपने सोचा था? अभी तो आपने
भी नहीं सोचा था साहब, किसी ने नहीं सोचा था. कालों के काल महाकाल.
तो महाकाल की नगरी से, he comes from Ujjain and he's an MLA from Ujjain, so from Mahakaleshwar. There is another messaging happening here, not just an RSS man from an RSS background, but also coming from Ujjain. So the BJP top leadership, as it is known for springing surprises, they have pulled out this rabbit from their hat and have given Mohan Yadav as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. But let me tell you, there was a lot of controversy over Mohan Yadav even before he was elected. There were several charges, allegations made against him, but that today is not the time to talk about them because they were never actually proved. But Mohan Yadav, an RSS man, has been chosen by the Bharatiya Janata Party, and this has come as a huge surprise, not just to me, but all these BJP supporters who are gathered over here. Follow me?
Heminder, if I may ask you, what do you think were the factors that played in Mohan Yadav's favor? Why did Prime Minister Modi zero in on Mohan Yadav?
Well, Mohan Yadav comes from an RSS background, that is a given. He has been an education minister in the previous government in Madhya Pradesh, and as one of his supporters whom I managed to find out from this crowd was telling us that he had done marches also, he had walked on several occasions also. He's someone who has worked really hard. I mean, he has worked his way up. So that could be one reason. Another reason could be springing a surprise. I mean, they have just surprised everyone. Then, of course, he's a Yadav. So, though there is no there are pockets of Yadav influence in Madhya Pradesh, but the Yadavs are not dominant OBCs, so to say, in Madhya Pradesh. But then he comes from that community. So if you are replacing an OBC chief minister, it's being replaced by another OBC. That's what we were talking about. It's not Prahlad Patel, but Mohan Yadav. So that is another reason. Plus, I think the major factor that has gone into his selection is his RSS background. The fact that he can now also, because if he has someone who has got the backing of the RSS, he would be in a position to control all these top leaders who have been sent from Delhi to be MLAs. Narendra Singh Tomar would be the next speaker. That is what we are hearing. There are going to be two deputy chief ministers. That's also what we are hearing. So, but there are others. What would happen to Shivraj Singh Chouhan? What would happen to Prahlad Patel? These people had fought elections. Their names were doing the rounds. B.D. Sharma, of course, the president of the BJP, still remains the president of the BJP. But yes, the BJP top leadership has once again managed to surprise everyone. And Mohan Yadav is now making history. He's going to be the next chief minister.
Okay, Heminder, just hold on for a moment. We're getting visuals right now from inside the legislative party meeting of the Bharatiya Janata Party, where Mohan Yadav is being felicitated by, of course, the top brass of the party, the central observers who made that announcement. Manohar Lal Khattar, Haryana Chief Minister, announced the name of Mohan Yadav as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Mohan Yadav being felicitated. It will be interesting, of course, to find out later how did Mohan Yadav react to his name being announced. Was he anticipating it? Did he have any inkling at all? Or was he completely taken aback, possibly looking around and wondering, was that me? Was that my name that was announced? Because that's what we hear about what happened in Gujarat last when Bhupendra Patel was announced as the Chief Minister. Bhupendra Patel was literally sitting in the last row of that legislative party meeting in the conference hall, and the name was announced by Narendra Tomar at that point of time, a central observer from the dais after a 45-minute long speech. And Bhupendra Patel, I beg your pardon, was suddenly told, "Sir, aap neta ban gaye." And his reaction was, "Arey neta to main hu." So fir someone said, "Arey sir, aap Vidhayak Dal ke neta ban gaye." That's when Bhupendra Patel realized that he is the next Chief Minister designate of Gujarat. It will be interesting, Heminder, to find out what was Mohan Yadav's reaction.
मैं निवेदन करूंगा पार्टी के संबंधी
if you are able to hear me, we're of course getting pictures from inside that legislative party meeting from moments ago when when Mohan Yadav's name was announced as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. And I was just recounting an anecdote that we only hear much later of how it happened in Gujarat, for instance, when Bhupendra Patel did not know that he was to be selected as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He was sitting in the last row in the conference hall. Suddenly, the name was announced by Narendra Tomar, who happened to be a central observer from the dais, and someone turned around and told Bhupendra Patel, "Sir, aap neta ban gaye." Bhupendra Patel said, "Par neta to main hu."
मन से वास्तव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये होती जोरदार ताली बजाए मैं आप सबको प्रणाम करता हूँ और आप सबका धन्यवाद अदा करता हूँ। केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का, समूचे मंच का, मेरे जैसे छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को हमारे सभी मित्रों ने मिलकर कर आपके मार्गदर्शन में जो जवाबदारी दी, यद्यपि मैं उस लायक नहीं हूँ, लेकिन आप सबका प्रेम, आपका आशीर्वाद, सहयोग मिलेगा तो निश्चित रूप से मैं कोशिश करूँगा। एक बार फिर आप सबका आभार, धन्यवाद। माननीय प्रदेश अध्यक्ष आदरणीय विष्णुदत्त जी शर्मा भी आए आज की इस कार्यक्रम
So this is a live press conference from Bhopal where the BJP, 8 days after its verdict in Madhya Pradesh, has anointed its next Chief Minister in Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav. Dr. Mohan Yadav, the MLA from Ujjain Dakshin, will be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, a name that didn't figure in any of the roll calls of probables, across the landscape of those reporting on Madhya Pradesh. A surprise name that's come in now. We've got all the names flashing on your screen. Let's just dip in and listen in to this live press conference coming in from the MLA meet.
अभी बाद में
Shivraj Singh Chouhan, you saw stepping off the stage. There was a great deal of speculation about whether he would be retained or shunted. There is speculation about what next for Shivraj Singh Chouhan, but the man with the bouquet in your hands is the 57-year-old Chief Minister designate of Madhya Pradesh. A name that wasn't doing the rounds, that wasn't part of the circuit. Another surprise pulled out of the BJP leadership's hat. We're going to be hearing from him in just a moment from now. India Today's cameras trained on Dr. Mohan Yadav, three-time MLA from Ujjain. He's born in 1965. That makes him 57 years old, relatively young. Does this achieve the generational shift that the BJP was hoping to see in Madhya Pradesh? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but a relatively younger chief minister from the OBC community, not part of the names that were doing the rounds, very much in the BJP's signature style of pulling something out of its hat. All of those angles will be made very, very clear. Let me get a quick word in from India Today's Preeti Chaudhary, who joins me now. She travelled extensively in Madhya Pradesh as well. Preeti, first reactions, Dr. Mohan Yadav.
You know, and that's the reaction, Shiv. Dr. Mohan Yadav, I don't even think Dr. Mohan Yadav knew, because when the meeting actually began, he was sitting right in the corner and seemingly oblivious, is what our reporters are telling us. Quite like what went down when Bhupendra Yadav was told in Gujarat that he was going to be the chief minister, but to put the spotlight on this man, Bhupendra Patel, that he was going to be the chief minister in Gujarat. But to put the spotlight on this man, Shiv, interesting. You know, he's been bloodied in the line of Bharatiya Janata Party politics. He's been a student ABVP leader. You know, he's held the seat twice now. He's won it the third time around, which is South Ujjain. Interesting dynamic, because what was the quandary? The quandary and the question where the BJP came in was, will they replace Shivraj Singh Chouhan? And if they did, they will need an OBC face to do so. One of the rounds that were named, that was making the rounds, was that of Prahlad Patel, a Lodi OBC, a cabinet minister who had tendered in his resignation. Many would have thought, many speculations were that it could be Prahlad Patel, if not Shivraj. But body language says a lot, Shiv. We just saw Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who was so vocal up till yesterday, constantly giving sound bites, talking to the camera. It's a huge blow to Shivraj Singh Chouhan. It might be a generational shift or a huge shift in Madhya Pradesh politics, because the dynamics from here will completely change. What now? How will Shivraj Singh Chouhan be accommodated? That's the big question. But let's put the spotlight. You have a Narendra Tomar. You know, imagine, this is what the BJP does.
Yes.
And this could very well be the discipline of the Bharatiya Janata Party. A man who was the agriculture minister till 2 days ago will now be the speaker you know, in Madhya Pradesh. They've taken in all caste dynamics. You have an OBC, you have a tribal, and you have an upper caste. If you come down to the three levels, which is the chief minister and the two deputy chief ministers, and of course Narendra Tomar, who comes in as you know, the speaker.
Absolutely. Preeti, I'm going to come back to you. Polomi is also with us on the ground. I just want to get some sound in from there. Let's go big with those pictures. Try and get some sound in. Dr. Mohan Yadav being completely inundated with bouquets. You know, nobody knows who those bouquets were intended for. Let's listen in. Let's just listen in.
Mohan Bhai Sahab. Mohan Bhai Sahab. Mohan Bhai Sahab. Arey Mohan Bhai Sahab.
Is the man everyone wants to get close to, be in the frame with, thrust the flowers that they're holding into his hands, because he's persona number one in Madhya Pradesh suddenly. As Preeti said, he was probably sitting in a corner. You know, who knows?
He was sitting in a corner. I was just looking at, you know, what was interesting was, Shiv, I was actually looking at when all of them came together.
Could it have crossed his mind, is my question. Could it have crossed his mind that he may be a possibility?
You know, I doubt it.
He must have been happy seeing his name not on the list.
I doubt it. I doubt it if it had crossed his mind. To be honest, I really want to know, when was, you know, Mr. Yadav, Dr. Mohan Yadav, told that he was going to be the chief minister? Did he hear it? And that's what I want to know. And, you know, indication, Shiv, if I was Vasundhara Raje Scindia, because tomorrow the action shifts to Rajasthan, the writing's on the wall. If they can remove Shivraj Singh Chouhan, who's come in, with a pro-incumbency vote, and especially the kind of commentary coming in from him, it was a wave election, and a lot of credit, of course, goes to Mr. Chouhan as well. If he can be removed, we can well imagine who the Rajasthan Chief Minister would be. But having said that, let's put the spotlight right now, Shiv, on the names that have come to light. Dr. Mohan Yadav is the new Chief Minister.
Please stay with me for a moment.
Yes, go ahead.
I'll come right back to you because Hemendra is with us and he has Dr. Mohan Yadav's nephew with him. Over to you, Hemendra, family member of the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh.
Well, thank you so much. I have, it's Mama time in Madhya Pradesh. I mean, one Mama has gone and I have someone with me of whom the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh is the Mama, Mr. Prahlad Yadav. He's also a corporator. पहले तो सबसे पहले बधाई हो आपको. सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए कि आपका जो अगले मुख्यमंत्री मध्य प्रदेश के होने वाले मोहन यादव हैं, उनसे क्या संबंध है?
मेरे मामा हैं वो मोहन यादव जी. मैं बाबा महाकाल के आशीर्वाद मोहन जी पर रहे. तीन बार विधायक रहे उज्जैन दक्षिण से. और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष भाई और मोदी जी और प्रदेश अध्यक्ष, इन सबका मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं. जो मोहन यादव जैसे सबसे छोटे नेता को आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने मुख्यमंत्री बनाया, मैं उन सबका धन्यवाद करता हूं.
अच्छा, आपने कभी सोचा था कि मामा जी मुख्यमंत्री बन जाएंगे?
नहीं सोचा था मैंने, लेकिन बाबा महाकाल का आशीर्वाद रहा.
एक मामा जी हटे, दूसरे
मामा जी आ गए.
दूसरे बड़े वाले मामा जी कौन से हुए जो गए हैं? आए
जो मामा शिवराज सिंह चौहान मामा थे और ये भी मामा है हमारे मोहन यादव जी.
अच्छा, क्या उम्मीदें हैं अब मोहन यादव जी से मध्य प्रदेश के लिए? आपको क्या लगता है? आपके परिवार में इतिहास बनाया है, अभी आपके परिवार से जो मोहन यादव जो मुख्यमंत्री बने, क्या उम्मीद है आपको? क्या लगता है मध्य प्रदेश का क्या चेंज हो जाएगा?
मध्य प्रदेश में जो भी काम है मोहन यादव जी करेंगे, हमें पूरा विश्वास है. बाबा महाकाल की नगरी के हैं वो, और मोहन यादव पूरे प्रदेश भर में सबका ध्यान रखेंगे और ये देश चलाएंगे.
आपकी बात हुई मामा जी से?
अभी हुई. मामा जी को मैंने अभी बधाई दी. अंदर ही गए थे, उस टाइम में उनसे मिला. उन्होंने कहा अभी निर्णय आएगा, जो भी आएगा अच्छा आएगा.
और मामी जी से भी बात हुई कि सिर्फ मामा?
नहीं, अभी हाल तो मामा से अब बात करेंगे. अभी निकलने का इंतजार कर रहे हैं हम सब.
मामी जी को इन्फॉर्मेशन टीवी के थ्रू ही मिलेगी?
नहीं, टीवी के द्वारा मिल गई उनको. वो अभी मैंने बात करी तो उनको मिल गई सबको.
So it's back to you, Shiv. Very happy nephew of Mohan Yadav, the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, thanking God and thanking the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party. But as I said earlier, no one anticipated or expected such a huge surprise from the top leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
So Mama 2.0, Shivraj is over, the original Mama Ji is out. We don't know what's in store for him. We'll talk about that in a moment, but the spotlight is still fixed now on Dr. Mohan Yadav. These are pictures from him. He's still on stage. I take it. Okay, these are pictures from earlier today, a few minutes before he was actually anointed. Right now, he's being completely inundated with bouquets and malas and garlands and selfies and things like that. Let me bring Polami in also. She's there in the middle of all this, post-announcement chaos. Polami, is everyone still on stage? What's going on right now? Are we going to hear from Dr. Yadav?
Well, we will of course try to catch Dr. Mohan Yadav as he steps out, but at the moment what we've seen immediately is CM security go in, so he's likely to get into that CM carcade and leave from this venue over here in Bhopal. But nobody has stepped out at the moment. All you can hear is the dole. I would be able to show you some pictures if my camera person could pan, but there's a lot of network issues over here because already the jammers are in place, so it's been a little difficult, but you can hear the dole, you can hear the supporters. Also, of course, rejoicing in this moment that the party has finally chosen a name, but there are faces which are very confused as well, Shiv. I'll ask my camera person Madan to probably turn around the camera and you see those very confused faces over here, Shiv, because they did not see this name in the mix. They're happy that the party has finalized a name. They're happy.
I want to ask you a question.
Images here, Preeti, of Dr. Yadav's family. Yeah, go ahead, Preeti.
Follow me. I want to ask you a question. When did Dr. Yadav find out? Was it in announcement that he figured he was going to be the next chief minister, or did they give him at least a 5-10 minute to take it all in?
Well, going by the BJP's track record, he possibly just found out when his name was announced from the dais. This has happened in the past, so it will be no surprise. We'll find out, of course, as he steps out. I was narrating that instance of Bhupendra Patel when the man had no idea. He was sitting in the last row, just oblivious to what the proceedings. Dr. Narendra Tomar was making a long speech on the dais, Central Observer at that point of time, to the state of Gujarat. And this is the anecdote which I've been repeating, which is extremely funny, just gives you a sense of what happened. Someone just turned around and said, because it was a 45-minute long speech that Narendra Tomar was giving, someone turned around and said, "Sir, aap neta ban gaye." Bhupendra Patel turned and said, "Main to neta hoon." And the other gentleman said, "Sir, aap Vidhayak Dal ke neta ban gaye." And that's how Bhupendra Patel found out that he is now the Chief Minister designate of Gujarat.
The BJP likes playing with its Neta's emotions as well. Listen in to some of the first reactions coming in from the Yadav family, the family of the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Listen in.
हेलो हाँ वही सर बाइट चल रही है सर बाइट बोलो
सीढ़ी एक एक कड़ी मेहनत से चढ़ी है, उसका फल आज हमारे मामा जी को हम सबको मिला है, क्योंकि उनने और ईमानदारी से बहुत ईमानदारी से करा है देश के लिए काम, तो उसका फल उनको मिला है।
आपके दिल में कभी ऐसा सोचा भी था आपने सपने में कि
हाँ हमने सोचा था, हाँ मेहनत किया था, भगवान ने फल दिया है और मेहनत करेंगे आगे चल के। हाँ बड़ी बहन बड़ी है, हाँ
दीदी ये दीदी है,
हाँ बड़ी दीदी हूँ जी।
बताइए आपको किस प्रकार से महसूस हुआ?
अरे बहुत खुशी हो रही है हमारे भाई जीता तो, और सभी का करते हैं और बहुत तरक्की करेंगे।
Here's Dr. Mohan Yadav speaking just before the announcement was made.
अपने मन से वास्तव में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ये होती जोरदार ताली बजाए मैं आप सबको प्रणाम करता हूँ और आप सबका धन्यवाद अदा करता हूँ। केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का, समूचे मंच का, मेरे जैसे छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को हमारे सभी मित्रों ने मिलकर कर आपके मार्गदर्शन में जो जवाबदारी दी, यद्यपि मैं उस लायक नहीं हूँ, लेकिन आप सबका प्रेम, आपका आशीर्वाद, सहयोग मिलेगा तो निश्चित रूप से मैं कोशिश करूँगा। एक बार फिर आप सबका आभार, धन्यवाद।
I beg your pardon. That was Dr. Mohan Yadav's first comment after being anointed the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. All of the leaders are still inside. We saw Shivraj Singh Chouhan, making his way off the stage so that the new Mamaji, gets the full uninterrupted spotlight as he is getting from all of those leaders who've made a justifiable beeline to the new man in the kursi of Madhya Pradesh. So Dr. Mohan Yadav, 57 years old, Ujjain Dakshin, 3-term MLA, elected again this year, of course, and is someone who became a minister in the Shivraj Singh Chouhan government in 2020, was in charge of higher education. He was cabinet minister for higher education in the Shivraj government. And now his former boss vacates that chair for Dr. Mohan Yadav. He is from the OBC community. He's a Yadav. So all of those are angles in this decision that comes 8 days after the BJP's very big win in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Mohan Yadav hasn't yet spoken. He just made these very brief comments after being named, thanking all his seniors and thanking the legislature party for choosing him and anointing him as the chief minister. But several other decisions today that also have a great deal of importance, whether it is Rajendra Shukla, Jagdish Devda, who are the two deputy chief ministers, Narendra Singh Tomar, former union minister who was made to fight in this election, is going to be the next assembly speaker. So a lot of leading lights and high-profile persons, but Dr. Mohan Yadav most definitely didn't expect this to happen. It's there on camera. He was sitting in a corner, and then his name was announced. It's the way the BJP rolls. It's the way the BJP does things. Polami, coming back to you for just a moment. I'm going to line up some of those family reactions for you in just a moment. But Polami, over the last couple of days, we've seen a lot of Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Sound bites. He's been in the headlines. He's been very, very visible. Would this have been a surprise to him? Was he really expecting to be retained?
Well, as far as Shivraj Singh Chouhan is concerned, I think he got the message for a while now. The fact that the BJP chose not to project him as the chief ministerial face going into these assembly elections, I beg your pardon, the message was very clear that the BJP was looking to change its chief minister if it won the assembly elections, that the BJP was not very happy with the anti-incumbency against Shivraj Singh Chouhan. They did realize that there was a lot of groundwork to do in order to cut through that anti-incumbency and ensure a BJP victory. Of course, it turned out to be a landslide victory. So the BJP says that there are many...
speaking to India today. Paulavi, coming right back to you.
मैं केंद्रीय नेतृत्व पे माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय यशस्वी गृह मंत्री, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष नड्डा जी, मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का।
तो मोहन जी, शिवराज सिंह चौहान,
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान से
आराम से उधर ले क्या हो रही है? तो आप देख सकते हैं, गिर जाओगे। ये मोहन यादव थे जो आज तक पे बात कर रहे थे और यहाँ पे भगदड़ मच गई एक तरीके से। आज तक पे जब मोहन यादव पहुंचे हैं तो फिर उनसे बात करने के लिए बड़ी संख्या में लोग जो है वो मंच पे चढ़ गए। जगदीश देवड़ा, उप मुख्यमंत्री, जगदीश जी अमित, आपको उप मुख्यमंत्री बनाया गया है।
भाई अभी कोई अधिकृत जानकारी नहीं है मेरे पास।
अंदर क्या बातचीत हुई है?
अभी कोई बातचीत नहीं जी। अभी केवल नेता का चुनाव हुआ है और मोहन यादव जी अभी विधायक दल के नेता चुने गए। बधाई उनको, बहुत सारी बधाई, बहुत बधाई, शुभकामनाएं हमारी, और सब मिलके काम करेंगे।
प्राथमिकताएं क्या रहेंगी आपकी?
प्राथमिकताएं विकास। ये अभी तो मुख्यमंत्री जी का हुआ है, मोहन यादव जी अपने विधायक दल के नेता चुने गए हैं, उनको बधाई, उनको शुभकामनाएं जी।
तो आपको क्या जिम्मेदारी दी गई है?
अभी कोई अधिकृत जानकारी नहीं है,
तो ये है उप मुख्यमंत्री पद के लिए जगदीश देवड़ा का जो नाम आया था। एक बार फिर से हम बात करने की कोशिश करेंगे मोहन यादव से। हालांकि हमने बात की थी तब, और मोहन यादव से तब हम जब बात कर ही रहे थे तो बड़ी संख्या में लोग जो है वो पहुंच गए थे। देखिए अब एक बार फिर से मोहन यादव जो है वो प्रदेश कार्यालय की ओर जा रहे हैं, जहां पे मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जो हैं वो मौजूद हैं और उनसे मिलने जा रहे हैं मोहन यादव।
Okay, that was Dr. Mohan Yadav briefly speaking to India today, and then Jagdish Devda, who's the Deputy Chief Minister, being very careful, saying, I haven't heard anything yet. Most of these announcements obviously coming in through the media. The family is also hearing all about it through the media. We've just heard that the family of Dr. Mohan Yadav has heard about it through Aaj Tak. So all of this, this is still a story in motion. Let's listen in once again, Dr. Mohan Yadav.
मैं केंद्रीय नेतृत्व पे माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय यशस्वी गृह मंत्री, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष नड्डा जी, मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का।
तो मोहन जी, शिवराज सिंह चौहान,
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान से
आराम से उधर ले क्या हो रही है? तो आप देख सकते हैं,
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हमसे ये थे मनोहर लाल जी, जिन्होंने साफ तौर से कहा कि सबसे राय लेने के बाद ही ये फैसला किया गया है और 2024 की दृष्टि की जहाँ तक बात है, और सब मिलजुल करके काम करेंगे संगठन, और संगठन के पुराने आदमी, इसलिए इनका पार्टी के लोगों ने, विधायकों ने नाम तय किया, उसके बाद अलग।
Okay, lots of reactions coming in at this point of time. Other BJP chief ministers, including Manohar Lal Khattar, are there from Haryana and other places to welcome the new chief minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mama 2.0. Reactions from Shivraj Singh Chouhan is something that the journalists will be looking for very, very keenly. There is speculation about what happens with Shivraj Singh Chouhan next. Does he move to the centre? Does he get into the party organisation for 2024? We don't know just yet. And as the choice of Dr. Mohan Yadav suggests, these decisions are often made completely out of view.
Nobody could have guessed this, even Dr. Mohan Yadav or his two deputies, because even now, when Mr. Jagdish Devda was asked about being Deputy CM, he still says that I have no idea, it hasn't been communicated. We congratulate Dr. Mohan Yadav. But it's, bound to unsettle, Shiv, especially because let's look at, the background to it all. You had a Shivraj Singh Chouhan who for 3 terms have been running the state of Madhya Pradesh. These are practically his men, some of them. And now you're making that generational shift. Now, how are you going to accommodate Shivraj Singh Chouhan? Have you given him a raw deal, keeping in mind it was a pro-incumbency vote? But I'll tell you what's common, where these 3 come together. These were names that nobody was expecting. I don't think even they themselves knew.
Manohar Lal Khattar is speaking, Preeti. You're just going to cut into that for a moment.
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी, जो हरियाणा के सीएम हैं, जो आज यहाँ मेन ऑब्जर्वर बन के आए थे। उनके साथ 2 ऑब्जर्वर भी थे। मनोहर लाल जी, किस ढंग से ये चयन हुआ, कौन प्रस्तावक थे और ये नाम अचानक जो चर्चा में भी नहीं था?
देखिए, ये सारा विषय प्रदेश की जो एक टीम होती है और विधायक दल के जो प्रमुख लोग होते हैं वो सब बैठ करके विचार करते हैं, एक नाम पर विचार करते हैं और उसके बाद पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड के उस पर मोहर लगती है, तब जा करके ये सारी चीज़ें होती हैं। प्रदेश के जो वर्तमान मुख्यमंत्री हैं उन्होंने स्वयं इच्छा प्रकटी है कि इस नाम का प्रस्तावना मैं करूँगा। उन्होंने प्रस्तावना की और बाकी जो प्रमुख 9-10 लोग हैं उन्होंने उसका समर्थन किया, अनुमोदन किया और उसके बाद पूरे विधायक दल ने उसका समर्थन किया।
अचानक ये नाम कोई चर्चा में नहीं, ना राजनीति,
ये विषय जो यहाँ के स्थानीय नेता हैं ये उनकी आपसी समझ होती है। ये इस विषय में हमारा पर्यवेक्षक के नाते कोई रोल नहीं होता है। पर्यवेक्षक का तो ये है सब मिलकर के जिसका भी चयन करे मिलकर चयन कर ले।
आलाकमान की क्या भूमिका थी इसमें?
इसमें जब ये नाम कोई जाता है तो उसके ऊपर वहाँ के लोग चर्चा करते हैं, उसके ऊपर मोहर लगाते हैं, उन्होंने मोहर लगाई और घोषणा हो गई।
तो कैसे रहेंगे आगे की 2024 की राजनीति को देखते हुए मोहन यादव जी?
देखिए, निश्चित रूप से जो मुझे जानकारी ली है और वो 3 बार के विधायक हैं और संगठन से जुड़े हुए पुराने व्यक्ति हैं। उन्होंने संघ में, उन्होंने विद्यार्थी परिषद में, उन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी में एक लंबा काम किया है। मुझे लगता है कि इस प्रदेश को आगे लेकर के बढ़ेंगे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हमसे ये थे मनोहर लाल जी, जिन्होंने साफ तौर से कहा कि सबसे राय लेने के बाद ही ये फैसला किया गया है और 2024 की दृष्टि की जहाँ तक बात है और सब मिलजुल करके काम करेंगे संगठन, और संगठन के पुराने आदमी, इसलिए इनका पार्टी के लोगों ने, विधायकों ने
नहीं होता है। चलो प्रेस
Huge scrum of journalists obviously trying to get a word in from the new Chief Minister. He will hold a press conference shortly, we're told, so we will be live on that. Polomi, quickly coming to you. What happens next? You're on the ground now. Is there going to be a press conference shortly? Where is Dr. Mohan Yadav going to go from here? Can you just give us a sense of what happens next? Okay, we'll go to Polomi in just a moment. We've got family reactions of Dr. Mohan Yadav. You can imagine their surprise. Dr. Mohan Yadav himself was completely taken aback when his name was announced on stage. So you can only imagine his family. He wouldn't have had the time to even contact them. So they watched it all on India Today's channels. Just take a look at these reactions coming in from Dr. Mohan Yadav's family, the family of the new Chief Minister of MP.
हाँ, मेहनत किया था, भगवान ने फल दिया है और मेहनत करेंगे आगे चल के। बहुत खुशी हो रही है हमारे भाई जीता तो, और सभी का करते हैं और बहुत तरक्की करेंगे और आगे भी बहुत तरक्की करेंगे। वो
सीढ़ी है कि कड़ी मेहनत से चढ़ी है, उसका फल आज हमारे मामा जी को हम सबको मिला है, क्योंकि उनने और ईमानदारी से, बहुत ईमानदारी से करा है देश के लिए काम, तो उसका फल उनको मिला है।
बहुत खुशी की बात है। उन संघर्ष भी बहुत है, 1984 से सतत काम किया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, और हम विद्यार्थी परिषद से विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ता के रूप में राष्ट्रीय स्तर तक काम किया है और सतत काम किया है। निश्चित रूप से उसका परिणाम है, बड़ों का आशीर्वाद है, पार्टी का आशीर्वाद है और बाबा महाकाल का आशीर्वाद।
उस टाइम में उनसे मिला, उन्होंने कहा अभी निर्णय आएगा, जो भी आएगा अच्छा आएगा।
और मामी जी से भी बात हुई कि सिर्फ मामा?
नहीं, अभी हाल तो मामा से अब बात करेंगे, अभी निकलने का इंतजार कर रहे हैं हम सब।
मामी जी को इन्फॉर्मेशन टीवी के थ्रू ही मिली?
नहीं, टीवी के द्वारा मिल गई उनको, वो अभी मैंने बात करी तो उनको मिल गई सबको।
Preeti is still with me. We've got our reporters joining us on the ground in just a moment. Preeti, I want you to very quickly, analyze and break down for me how many boxes this decision actually ticks. Dr. Mohan Yadav, three-time MLA from Ujjain, that has its own implications. Someone who's been an education minister from the OBC community. What do you think?
Let's look at it. I'll tell you what, okay. None of these names anybody was expecting, Shiv. Forget about journalists. Yeah. Even the men in question, the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh did not expect that he was going to be announced. He heard it while his name was being announced. Having said that, what is common between the three of them? They've all actually been long-time workers. They've risen from the grassroots, worked for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Under Shivraj.
Under Shivraj, but have been loyal workers where the party is in question. All three of them have been cabinet ministers. All three of them. If you have Dr. Mohan Yadav, who's been the higher education minister, you have Mr. Devra, who's been the finance minister, and then you have Mr. Shukla. Out of all three of them, if there was one name which I heard as an outside chance of Chief Minister, that was Rajendra Shukla's name from Rewa.
Okay. So you did hear that name?
That name you heard, but it was like an outside chance.
Right.
If not Prahlad Patel, if not, to uska naam ho sakta hai. But none of these other two. So they've been, sitting MLAs at least twice over, if not more. They've been loyal workers of the BJP. All three of them are cabinet ministers. All three of them represent three very different sets of caste dynamics. And why do I say that? It's very important, as much as we'd like to say caste doesn't matter, but when it comes down to, the ballot or elections, it matters. And here you have the representation. Importantly, what was the biggest hurdle in making that generational shift was to remove an OBC chief minister, then what? A Lodi OBC in Prahlad Patel didn't quite fit the bill, but a Yadav fits the bill, perfectly.
Correct.
Because, it also flies against every claim which possibly the opposition is looking to mount, and furthermore, on the OBC card going into elections 2024.
That was actually going to be my next question, and I'm going to get into that, Preeti.
You have a Yadav at the helm of affairs. On the other hand, Madhya Pradesh is a state, and also the Bharatiya Janata Party has a huge support where the upper caste is concerned. So the BJP needs to look like that they are with the OBC, but they cannot antagonize the upper caste. Therefore comes in a Rajendra Shukla. On the other hand, you have the representation from Mandsaur, Mr. Devra, Jagdish Devra, and he is a Dalit face. It is a reserved seat
so you've
in
got
Mandsaur,
OBC, upper caste and Dalit in one
So you have representation of all three. The tribal element might be slightly missing, but look at it. Look at the mix. It's a thought-over mix.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it ticks many, many of those boxes. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the original Mamaji, the outgoing Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, has congratulated Dr. Mohan Yadav, the man who was a cabinet minister in his government, who now replaces him in the Bhopal throne. These are live pictures, mind you, of Dr. Mohan Yadav. He's about to speak. There's a press conference that's being held. He's going to make a statement of sorts. I don't know if he's going to be taking questions, but these are live pictures coming in of the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. All the trappings of his position have coalesced around him immediately. His supporters, they're all there. Let's listen.
लाइव करना है क्या फोटो क्या कहना चाहेंगे लोग क्या कर रहे हैं माना कि वैसे रेसलिंग वाले
Mohan Yadav is about to speak. I'm guessing that there's a huge furor over there. Lots of journalists, lots of cameras. Viewer, you know how it is in elections. There's a huge amount of methodical chaos as hundreds of cameras attempt to get that first best angle of the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Obviously, India Today and Aaj Tak have the best view of Dr. Mohan Yadav right before he opens up and takes some questions, makes that opening statement. I wonder if he's, had a chance to let all of this sink in. He's allowing himself to smile a bit, but I imagine how he must be feeling. Not having expected this fully, certainly not having been briefed, prior to this, as Preeti said, and, being caught completely off guard with the state's biggest position. How do you like that for the way the BJP does things? There are critics of those who say the BJP took 8 days to appoint a chief minister. Justifiable politics played out over that count. Remember, the Rajasthan chief minister hasn't been announced yet. That's going to happen around this time tomorrow. But as far as Dr. Mohan Yadav is concerned, this is not just an anointment of a chief minister, but as Preeti pointed out, something that sends out a message across caste dynamics, across the way the BJP does things, across the angle of battle readiness for 2024. And I imagine, those who are considering themselves probables in Rajasthan will be wondering.
Anyone is a probable now.
Anyone is a probable.
Anyone is a everybody would be.
Okay, they're going to speak now, Preeti. We'll speak about Rajasthan after this.
नवनिर्वाचित विधायक दल की बैठक हमारे केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक आदरणीय मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी के नेतृत्व में आदरणीय के लक्ष्मण जी और आदरणीय सुश्री आशा लकड़ा जी राष्ट्रीय सचिव, तीनों केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक के नेतृत्व में बैठक संपन्न हुई है। उस बैठक में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने मोहन यादव जी का नाम प्रस्तावित किया मध्य प्रदेश के नए नेता के लिए, विधायक दल के नेता के लिए। और हमारे केंद्रीय मंत्री रहे वरिष्ठ नेता आदरणीय नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी, आदरणीय कैलाश विजयवर्गीय जी, आदरणीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी, आदरणीय मध्य प्रदेश के हमारे सभी वरिष्ठ नेतृत्व ने उनके प्रस्ताव का आज अभी समर्थन किया है। और मैं मोहन यादव जी मध्य प्रदेश के विधायक दल के नए नेता के तौर पर आज वो निर्वाचित हुए हैं। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश की ओर से, मध्य प्रदेश के करोड़ों करोड़ कार्यकर्ताओं की ओर से उन्हें बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। इस अवसर पर भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, दुनिया के सर्वाधिक लोकप्रिय नेता, देश के गृह मंत्री, भारतीय राजनीति के आधुनिक चाणक्य, जिन्होंने मध्य प्रदेश के चुनाव में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश के मन में मोदी और मोदी जी के मन में मध्य प्रदेश के अभियान को जनता ने जो आशीर्वाद दिया, कुशल रणनीति अमित शाह जी के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सम्मानीय राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जेपी नड्डा जी का जो आशीर्वाद मिला, मैं हमारे नेतृत्व को, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, माननीय अमित शाह जी, माननीय नड्डा जी को और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे नेता जो मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान को भी, पूरे नेतृत्व को बधाई देता हूं, हृदय से अभिनंदन करता हूं कि एक ऐसे कार्यकर्ता को जो विचार के लिए प्रतिबद्ध होकर, जिन्होंने अपना संपूर्ण जीवन छात्र राजनीति से लेकर विचार के लिए काम करने का लगातार जो प्रयास किया है, अथक मेहनत और परिश्रम के साथ जमीन से निकले हुए सामान्य परिवार के व्यक्तित्व को आज मध्य प्रदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के विधायक दल का नेता चुना गया है। मैं पुनः एक बार मोहन यादव जी का अभिनंदन करता हूं, बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। और हमें विश्वास है कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में यह मध्य प्रदेश, जो हमने कहा कि अपने स्वर्णिम मध्य प्रदेश बनाने के लिए, मध्य प्रदेश को आत्मनिर्भर मध्य प्रदेश बनाने का जो संकल्प है, आज हमारे मोहन यादव जी नेता चुने गए। उनके नेतृत्व में मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हम लगातार मध्य प्रदेश को स्वर्णिम मध्य प्रदेश बनाने का संकल्प आज लिया है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उस दिशा में उस संकल्प को पूरा करने के लिए मोहन यादव जी से लेकर के पूरी भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रतिबद्ध है। मैं पुनः एक बार मोहन यादव जी को बधाई देता हूं और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, माननीय अमित शाह जी का, माननीय नड्डा जी का, माननीय शिवराज जी का, नरेंद्र सिंह जी का, कैलाश जी का, प्रहलाद जी का, सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद करता हूं और मोहन जी को पुनः एक बार बधाई।
अरे रुक जाइए ना, चलिए बोलिए।
प्रदेश अध्यक्ष माननीय वीडी शर्मा जी, हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय
Number of cameras and jammers at that location. Okay.
मध्य प्रदेश ने पूरे देश में एक अलग पहचान बनाई है। मैं माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी का, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी का, यशस्वी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष माननीय जेपी नड्डा जी का, मैं हमारे प्रदेश के यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी का, यशस्वी अध्यक्ष माननीय वीडी शर्मा जी का, हमारे अपने वरिष्ठ नेता माननीय नरेंद्र सिंह जी तोमर साहब का, माननीय कैलाश जी विजयवर्गीय राष्ट्रीय महामंत्री भाजपा, माननीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी वरिष्ठ नेता, माननीय राकेश सिंह जी और सभी नए और आज विधायक दल के नेता के नाते से हमने सबने मिलकर संकल्प किया। मेरे जैसे छोटे कार्यकर्ता को एक बड़ी जवाबदारी दी। मैं जवाबदारी की इस बड़े काम को बता सकता हूं कि केवल ये भाजपा ही है जो सामान्य से छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को भी इतनी बड़ी जवाबदारी देती है। यही हमारा अपना भाजपा का चरित्र है। भाजपा के इस नए दायित्व के मैं लिए हृदय से आभार भी मानता हूं और आप सबके विश्वास के साथ निश्चित रूप से जो विकास का कारवा बढ़ाया माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान ने और यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में, निश्चित रूप से हम इसको आगे बढ़ाएंगे। एक बार फिर मैं हमारे लिए जो स्लोगन था एमपी के मन में मोदी और मोदी के मन में एमपी, इस स्लोगन के आधार पर निश्चित रूप से उनके विकास के सपने को लेकर आगे चलेंगे। मैं एक बार फिर हृदय से माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित जी, माननीय नड्डा जी, माननीय वीडी जी का आभार मानता हूँ, माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी का आभार मानता हूँ जिन्होंने मुझे बहुत बड़ी जवाबदारी दी। हृदय से आप सबका आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और जनता, करोड़ों करोड़ जनता जिनने इस निर्वाचन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी को प्रचंड बहुमत से विजयी दिलाई थी, निश्चित रूप से मैं सभी विधायक साथियों का, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं का जिनके अथक परिश्रम से ये अद्वितीय दिन आवास आया था, ये 5वीं बार भाजपा की सरकार बन रही है। निश्चित रूप से हम सब मिलकर के और प्रदेश की जनता की अपेक्षा के आधार पर इसको आगे ले जाएंगे। एक बार आप सबका आभार।
अभी गवर्नर हाउस जा रहे हैं माननीय विधायक दल की बैठक की कार्रवाई का मैं पत्र सौंपने के लिए हम गवर्नर हाउस जा रहे हैं।
Mohan Yadav making his first statement as the new Chief Minister designate of Madhya Pradesh. He's just left from the press conference venue now to head to the Governor's house where the proceedings of the legislature party meeting, the MLA meeting, will be shared with the Governor and the paperwork begins to anoint Dr. Mohan Yadav as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Polami is with us back again in Bhopal. Polami, when is the swearing-in ceremony? Take us through what else we know about the days ahead.
Well, the swearing-in ceremony will, of course, happen after, the legislative party meeting in Rajasthan. Again, you can see CM security over there, which is arriving. Most of the central observers have left. Other leaders like Kailash Vijayvargiya and the rest have left as well. But clearly, the change of guard is quite literally happening, Shiv. Behind me, Shivraj Singh Chouhan is headed towards Raj Bhavan right now to tender in his resignation. Remember that he was the caretaker chief minister so far of Madhya Pradesh. He will be tendering in his resignation. We'll be getting those pictures coming in live in a short while from now. After which we expect that Dr. Mohan Yadav will head to Raj Bhavan to stake claim to form government. Tomorrow, of course, the Chhattisgarh government will be sworn in. Vishnu Deo Sai's government will be sworn in Raipur. Meanwhile, Rajasthan will elect the BJP leader of the legislative party, who will then become the chief minister designate of Rajasthan. And subsequent to that, we'll probably have a swearing-in ceremony in both the states. So a lot of activity. Many spoke about, the time that was spent by the Bharatiya Janata Party in making these selections and these choices.
Okay.
But clearly, the BJP has sprung a surprise yet again. And like one of the supporters over here reminded me that, it's very interesting that Manohar Lal Khattar was the one to announce Dr. Mohan Yadav's name, because when Manohar Lal Khattar was announced as the BJP's chief ministerial face for Haryana, nobody knew that his name was in the mix at that point of time.
Very, very similar surprise, symbolic there as well. And, like we just saw, the deputy chief minister, one of the two deputy chief minister, was iffy about even accepting that he's been named the new deputy chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. So things still very much in motion. We're going to take a very quick break. We're back with this. First reactions from the new dispensation in Madhya Pradesh right after this break. Stay with us.
Today Group sweeps the ITA 2023 awards. From Best English News Channel, India Today TV.
Popular English News Channel, the award goes to India Today.
To Best Hindi News Channel, Aaj Tak.
Popular Hindi News Channel, and the award goes to Aaj Tak.
And Best Documentary OTT from Best Talk Show.
Best Chat Show, Rajdeep Sardesai.
To Best Male Anchor.
The award goes to Rahul Kanwal, News Track.
And the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti, Exemplary Leadership.
It gives me the greatest possible pleasure that Aaj Tak and India Today have once again been judged India's most popular channels at the ITA Awards. As someone who lives and breathes these channels, this honor is a real affirmation. Yes, there's a lot of pressure on us, and the pressure is yours. We always want to be bigger, better, faster, and more for you, our viewer.
Once again, the gold standard wins. Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
Lalduhoma has been part of Mizoram's political map since the mid-1980s. It was a long winding road for him to the top job in Mizoram. A former IPS officer who resigned from service after his glorious crackdown on the Goa drug racket at the behest of the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and became catalyst peacemaker between Indian government and Mizo National Front insurgency led by Lal Denga. He joined Congress and became an MP in 1984. But after Indira Gandhi's assassination, he was unhappy with the progress of peace talks and left Congress.
I used to be there with the then Prime Minister, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, day in and day out for a couple of years, and we are very close to each other. And she requested me to resign and help her in negotiating with the rebel leader, Mr. Lal Denga. And that is the way I joined the politics.
The movement started by Lalduhoma's ZPM is being compared with the Aam Aadmi Party. This time, there are people from different walks of life who have emerged winners in the electoral battle. Most of them are young, vibrant faces waiting to change and develop their state. Under the leadership of 74-year-old Lalduhoma.
A sensational daylight murder. A multi-state manhunt for the two shooters. Now big breakthrough in Karni Sena Chief Sukhdev Singh Gogamedi murder. In a joint operation by Rajasthan Police and Delhi Police Crime Branch, two shooters and their lone accomplice were nabbed in Chandigarh before fleeing to Goa. Shooters Nitin Fauji, Rohit Rathore and co-conspirator Udham Singh, who supplied logistics, are being grilled by Rajasthan cops.
जो तीन मेन अक्यूज थे वो गिरफ्तार हो गए हैं, जिसमें नितिन फौजी, रोहित राठौड़ और एक उनका अकम्प्लिस उधम सिंह, तीनों को गिरफ्तार करके राजस्थान पुलिस के साथ ज्वाइंट ऑपरेशन में अब उनको राजस्थान भेजा जा रहा है.
India Today accessed exclusive CCTV images from Hisar railway station where the accused was spotted. The cops detained manager of the hotel where the shooters had stayed using fake ID cards.
मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि जो भी इसमें तफ्तीश में जो भी तथ्य उद्घाटित होंगे उसके आधार पे पुलिस आगे बढ़ेगी, लेकिन ये तो क्लियर है कि ये शूटर्स तो इन्होंने अंजाम दिया है, लेकिन इसके पीछे कोई शैतानी दिमाग है और इसमें एक ऑर्गेनाइज्ड गैंग है और प्रथम दृष्टया रोहित गोदारा और लॉरेंस बिश्नोई की संलिप्तता प्रतीत होती है.
India Today has learnt the shooters fled to Manali after killing Gogamedi, but were nabbed by cops using technical surveillance, which revealed the shooters were in touch with key aides of gangster Rohit Godara. Shooters also revealed that Gogamedi was killed over a land dispute. Quality today. In Delhi, 315. In Mumbai, 106. In Kolkata, 179. In Bangalore, 61. In Chennai, 90. In Hyderabad, 91.
Eight days after a monster mandate in Madhya Pradesh, it's the end of Shivraj in MP. Shivraj Singh Chouhan resigns as the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh on the back of a historic mandate that he was part of, an anti-incumbency bending mandate that has delivered the BJP back to power with a record 2/3 majority. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the outgoing Chief Minister, congratulates his successor, Dr. Mohan Yadav, a man who was a minister in his government, a man who served under him for years and who now takes his chair at the Chief Minister's office of Bhopal. These are images on your right that you're getting from the Raj Bhavan, where you can see Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the outgoing Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, handing his resignation to the Madhya Pradesh governor to make way for the new government's formation in the state of MP. Dr. Mohan Yadav will be arriving there shortly to stake claim and become the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. A date for the swearing in has not yet been announced. It will be announced very, very shortly. We understand in the next few minutes we'll get some clarity on when that when that swearing-in ceremony will take place. Remember that the political suspense over anointments are not over yet. Madhya Pradesh done and dusted, even though it took 8 days for the BJP to arrive at a decision. Tomorrow, Rajasthan suspense will also end with the BJP committing to announce a chief minister in the state of Rajasthan. Hemendra and Polomi continue to be with me live from Bhopal. Hemendra, coming to you very quickly first. Any clarity on when the swearing-in ceremony could take place, and what more are we expecting to see for the rest of the day
Well, there's no confirmation on this yet, but it's being talked, and people are saying that most likely the swearing-in ceremony could happen on the 13th along with Chhattisgarh. Clarity or confirmation on this is yet to come, but this is the word that is going around, that the new Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Mohan Yadav, is going to take oath on the 13th. We are awaiting confirmation from the government, from the Bharatiya Janata Party on this, and as soon as we get confirmation on that, we'll report back to you.
Okay, Hemendra and Polomi continue to stay with us. I'm going to slip into a very short break. Akshata takes over right after this, where we continue our rolling coverage of the new dispensation in Madhya Pradesh. One Mama is out. A new Mama takes office very, very shortly. It's the new Raja of Bhopal. Coverage continues on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Vishnu Deosai is the new Chhattisgarh Chief Minister. A prominent tribal face of the BJP, Deosai won from the Kunkuri seat and belongs to the Samurai community. The BJP scripted history in Chhattisgarh by naming Deosai as the Chief Minister, a tribal who will hold the top post of the state. Vishnu Deosai is seen as a loyal BJP Karyakarta who joined the party in 1980. He's climbed his way up and has a considerable amount of ministerial experience. A 4-time MP, a 2-time MLA, he even served as MOS Steel in the first Narendra Modi government in 2014. Add to this impressive profile, Vishnu Deosai is considered very close to former Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Raman Singh and the RSS, and that's why has the backing of MLAs. While the BJP announcement has come as a surprise because Deosai hasn't been the face of the campaign in Chhattisgarh, he has played a key role in the win, having led the BJP state unit from 2020 to 2022. However, there's been a tribal factor in BJP's win. BJP swept the tribal belt in Chhattisgarh after winning Bastar and Sarguja regions. BJP bagged 8 out of 12 seats in Bastar and wrested all 14 seats from Congress in Sarguja. Former Deputy Chief Minister T.S. Singh Deo and State Congress Chief Deepak Baij were among those defeated. The move to put Vishnu Deosai on the saddle assumes importance ahead of the Lok Sabha elections, as the BJP is clearly putting the focus on wooing the tribal vote. Bureau Report, India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 24 and minimum 11 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 29 and minimum 24 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 26 and minimum 15 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 25 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 28 and minimum 24 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 17 degrees.
The world is expected to record an all-time high in temperature this year, which will have dire consequences on the planet, leading to irreversible damage to life on Earth as we know it. The United Nations Secretary General begged world leaders to deliver on climate change. COP28 started on a good note with the operationalization of the Loss and Damage Fund, a huge win for the COP28 presidency on the opening day of the conference. Protesters at the COP28 climate talks in Dubai called for additional financing for the newly established Loss and Damage Fund, as well as an end to subsidies for the fossil fuel industry. The other important development is the signing of the Global Renewables and Energy Efficiency Pledge. As many as 118 countries signed on to pledge to triple installed renewable energy capacity by 2030. This move aims to diminish the proportion of fossil fuels in the world's energy output. In fact, the Emirati head of the United Nations Climate Conference has insisted that he respects climate science after he came under fire over his statement in an interview where he questioned the science on fossil fuels. However, recent analysis by the Kick Big Polluters Out coalition reveals an alarming surge in the number of fossil fuel lobbyists granted access to the climate talks. An oil-rich host was always a risk, but dubious interpretations of climate science, a UAE hydrocarbons production surge, and an influx of big fossil lobbyists has left alarm bells ringing. Bureau Report, India Today.
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political background.
she takes the news by its horn.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold, and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
Presented by ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India. बनाऊंगा मैं, बनेगा भारत. म्यूचुअल फंड्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर करें शुरू. LIC हर पल आपके साथ. The fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron range.
End of Shivraj in MP. BJP springs mega surprise in Madhya Pradesh. Mama ji out, Mohan Yadav in.
मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्र नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का.
BJP goes for generational change. Mega CM surprise in Rajasthan next. Top Focus at 6 p.m. prime.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshata Nandagopal, and our focus is on the big surprise that's been sprung by the BJP in the state of Madhya Pradesh. A list of frontrunners was discussed, a list of contenders were discussed, and then you had the name of Mohan Yadav being dropped by the BJP. In typical Bharatiya Janata Party style, nobody knew and nobody saw this coming. And it's led to questions about whether we can expect a similar play tomorrow as well in the state of Rajasthan. We're going to be decoding the big decision by BJP in Madhya Pradesh and also telling you what to expect tomorrow in the state of Rajasthan. A look at the headlines first. Massive googly by the BJP top brass. Madhya Pradesh Higher Education Minister Mohan Yadav promoted to CM. Mama Shivraj Singh Chouhan's rule ends after 18 long years. All eyes are on the state of Rajasthan, where newly elected BJP MLAs will hold a legislative meet tomorrow to finalize who the Chief Minister of Rajasthan will be. Big boost for Modi government in top court. Unanimous Supreme Court verdict upholds Article 370 abrogation. Top court calls for restoration of Jammu and Kashmir statehood and also says elections must be held by September 2024. Politics over Supreme Court verdict on the abrogation of Article 370. Prime Minister Modi and BJP top brass hailed the Supreme Court verdict. Jammu and Kashmir opposition netas say disappointed but not disheartened. Mahua Moitra moves Supreme Court, challenging her expulsion from Lok Sabha as a Member of Parliament. MEA fact-checks claim of secret Pannu note, rubbishes secret note as fake and fabricated, calls it disinformation campaign against India. And soon after the announcement of Mohan Yadav as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, the wheels already being set in motion. Shivraj Singh Chouhan has formally submitted his resignation to the governor at Raj Bhavan. You've also had Mohan Yadav going ahead and staking claim. Mohan Yadav is currently at Raj Bhavan, staking claim to form the new Madhya Pradesh government. A big surprise that came in earlier today as the BJP confirmed that Mohan Yadav, MLA from Ujjain South, is the chosen one. That was followed by the images you see on your screens of Shivraj Singh Chouhan blessing Mohan Yadav. All right, joining us here on this broadcast, we've got Rajdeep Sardesai and Preeti Chaudhary with us. Rajdeep, to you first. Good evening. Everyone caught off guard essentially by the announcement made by the BJP today. Were you also a bit surprised? Are you still a bit surprised about what's happened and Mohan Yadav being named as the next Chief Minister?
To be honest, one is no longer surprised with Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah when they choose chief ministers. It is usually expect the unexpected. Yeah. And there was a sense of a generational change yesterday itself when in Chhattisgarh, Raman Singh was passed over. And the same thing has happened now in Madhya Pradesh and expect possibly the same thing in Rajasthan. The BJP has consciously gone in for a generational change while not affecting the social matrix. I think that is important to remember. You've replaced one OBC with another OBC chief minister in Mohan Yadav. What you've also done is two deputy chief ministers. One is a Brahmin, one is a Dalit. You've got a speaker in Narendra Singh Tomar, who's a Thakur. So what you've done is you've kept the social engineering intact, even while effecting a generational change, bringing in someone younger, someone who hasn't got the experience of the older hand, but perhaps will be seen as more energetic and a fresher face. So I think this is the pattern that the Narendra Modi government has adopted. You can go right across the country from Pushkar Dhami, Yogi Adityanath, Manohar Lal Khattar. In each instance, it is usually a surprising choice. It is a choice which is made effectively by the party high command. This is high command culture. But as we've seen, particularly in the case of Yogi Adityanath, it has worked for the BJP. and therefore they have chosen to do away with the old guard and bring in the new.
I think the only hint that we had, Rajdeep, was that, look, it was going to be an OBC phase. That much we could take for as a given, really, before the announcement was made. But having said that, Rajdeep, even among, the supposed front runners in this race, there were several OBC faces. So what really do you think has made the BJP High Command choose someone like a Mohan Yadav?
Well, I think what is surprising is there are OBC faces like Prahlad Patel who were sent after being union ministers back to the state. In fact, look at it. There were 7 MPs, including a couple of ministers from Madhya Pradesh who went and contested the state elections. Narendra Singh Tomar becomes the speaker. From agriculture minister, he's speaker. Prahlad Patel fought an impressive campaign by all accounts. The party did reasonably well in and around his region. And yet he's not got any benefit in terms of getting chief ministership. His chief ministership ambitions have been set aside. Correct. I think Mohan Yadav comes in because he's been a minister in the Madhya Pradesh government. He has a backing of the Sangh Parivar. Madhya Pradesh is the one state where the RSS exercises still a disproportionate influence over politics in the state. He was a preferred choice, we are told, of the Sangh Parivar, comes from Ujjain. Remember, the BJP has been making much of the Mahakal corridor and the impact that is having in terms of religiosity. And I think, therefore, the BJP did very well in the Malwa region. So you've gone in for a chief minister from the Malwa region. So you've taken into account regional considerations. You've looked at the religious identity. There's the Sangh Parivar angle. And he's not, from the Shivraj Singh Chouhan camp. Had he been from the Shivraj Singh Chouhan camp, you could have argued there's a measure of continuity. I think they've sent out a signal that it's an end of an era. Shivraj Singh Chouhan was the last chief minister surviving from the Vajpayee-Advani era, appointed in 2005 when Mr. Vajpayee and Mr. Advani in particular was still in public life. So you've really brought in a true generational change and sent out a message that the Shivraj Singh Chouhan era is well and truly over.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing for the BJP? Preeti, what do you think? This is a gamble. There's no doubt about that. But do you think that this is something that works for the BJP or could work for them? Shivraj Singh Chouhan, 18 years as chief minister, very graciously, of course, was seen blessing Mohan Yadav.
Well, everybody was shocked because when immediately Shivraj Singh Chouhan was asked to comment on camera, he says, "Abhi nahi, thodi der baad." For someone who's been giving, for someone who's been speaking to the camera, so very often. But having said that, and maybe Rajdeep can also weigh in on this, they've got the caste permutations right. For example, to have a Yadav chief minister who's young, you're going into an election in 2024 where the Yadavs of Bihar, of Uttar Pradesh, you have a chief minister where a Yadav is there. You've completed the whole caste bracket because you have an OBC as a chief minister in Madhya Pradesh. You have a tribal right now that you've put as the chief minister in Chhattisgarh. You've taken care of the upper caste dynamic where, you're not seen to be, looking at only one caste, which is the OBC at the back of what the Congress is saying, and alienating the upper caste, which has been your primary supporter. And you've accommodated an upper caste in terms of Rajendra Shukla as your deputy CM and a Dalit face as well, where Mansoor and the farmer belt is concerned, where Rajasthan comes into question. So caste-wise, yes. And maybe we can, get in Rajdeep here as well because, Akshita, what's interesting, Rajdeep, do you also see it somewhere, the Congressization of the BJP in terms of taking away not autonomy per se, but what regional satraps were? BJP has been a state where regional leadership has been always very strong. We saw it once with the Congress, and then we saw this massive high command culture diluting the state units. And now something, on the same account, because this clearly was a pro-incumbency vote. Many people would sit back and say Shivraj Singh Chouhan should have been, given the title of the chief minister. He's earned it.
Look, I would have a question with a yes and no. The no is quite simply this. The BJP has done in Madhya Pradesh what has not been done by the...
Okay, I think...
had an opportunity to effect a generational change. The Congress had an
Rajdeep, my apologies, but we're just going to cut across live right now to reaction coming in from Mohan Yadav.
धन्यवाद कपिल जी आप आए नहीं ऐसी क्या बात है लाइव तो लगाया
Bhavan, I presume, where you've got Shivraj Singh Chouhan with the central observers, with Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar, who accompanied them to the Raj Bhavan as well. And Shivraj Singh Chouhan, as I mentioned, Preeti, has been extremely gracious. There's been no question of him not listening to the High Command. He's someone who's, stood tall for 18 years. Would have been easy for him to kind of, reinstate that, I'm powerful. I can go ahead and also call the shots if I need to be. He's not done any of that. He's waited for the announcement to be made by the High Command, even seemingly giving his blessings to Mohan Yadav, though many would say maybe he didn't have really a choice.
The fact is, Akshata, if you look at Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the day the mandate came, when we were in the studio, within a span of 1 hour, let's listen in first.
सर क्या कुछ कहेंगे नई जिम्मेदारी मिली है अब मुख्यमंत्री सर चलिए कौन है यहाँ पे जी सर चलिए सिंगल इनकी एजेंसी सर नई जिम्मेदारी मिली है कार्यकर्ता को चुना है भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने क्या कुछ कहा
देखिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी का ये तंत्र ही ऐसा है कि छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को बड़ी से बड़ी जवाबदारी देती और हम सब की ट्रेनिंग भी ऐसी होती कि इस आधार पर पार्टी जो काम दे दे उसको बहुत सहजता के साथ लेते हैं। मैं बाबा महाकाल की कृपा और माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, माननीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष माननीय नड्डा जी और हमारे यशस्वी मुख्यमंत्री माननीय शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान, हमारे सभी नेतृत्व का माननीय नरेंद्र सिंह जी, माननीय कैलाश जी विजयवर्गीय, माननीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी, राकेश सिंह जी, माननीय वी.डी. शर्मा जी, सभी के साथ हमने मिलकर के आज विधायक दल की बैठक में बैठे थे और आकस्मिक में तो सहजता से अपना पीछे की पंक्ति में बैठ करके अपना काम कर रहा था। अचानक वहाँ जो घोषणा की है मैं निश्चित रूप से सबका आभार भी मानता हूँ और ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ साथ पूरे प्रदेश की जनता 8 करोड़ से ऊपर जनता है, उन सबके विश्वास पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने
क्या प्राथमिकता रहेंगी सर आपकी?
निश्चित रूप से विकास के काम को आगे बढ़ाना, यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री के काम को आगे बढ़ाना।
सर कई नाम चल रहे थे एक पीटीआई संदीप भाई आइए।
Brief statement there by Mohan Yadav. Note also that he has spoken about the legacy of Shivraj Singh Chouhan that he carries forward. But Rajdeep, to you, apologies for cutting you off earlier, but you were making a point and of course referring to what Preeti was talking about, whether, this is in a way giving more control of the states to the High Command.
Well, the question that Preeti had posed was basically whether the BJP was going the Congress way in terms of high command culture. And my answer is yes and no. Remember, 5 years ago, the Congress had the opportunity to effect a generational change when they won Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. They could have gone in with a Sachin Pilot or a Jyotiraditya Scindia. They chose to play safe, went with the tried and trusted faces of Ashok Gehlot and Kamal Nath instead. The BJP has, on the other hand, chosen to effect a generational change. What the BJP has also done, though, is really taken a view which is not based on the BJP legislature party, what the MLAs want. I spoke to a senior BJP leader and he laughed when I said, would Mohan Yadav have been the choice of the legislators? And he said, of course not. This is a choice that is taken in Delhi. So to that extent, the high command culture has certainly been Congressified, you could argue, in the BJP, with again one caveat that the BJP does its electoral calculus very carefully and the social engineering that we've spoken about in getting the right caste combination before it makes these announcements. In the high command culture of the Congress, what mattered more than anything else was complete loyalty and obedience in a way to the Indira Gandhi cult at the time. It's much less so, I would argue, in the BJP. Certainly a Yogi Adityanath is an example in a way of someone who has been able to carve out his own leadership style in Uttar Pradesh. I don't know whether Mohan Yadav will be able to do that. It is possible that he will be much more like a Manohar Lal Khattar, who really is very much the man of
Rajdeep, let me flip this question for you. Instead of putting the spotlight right now on the BJP for once, just for a minuscule minute, let's put it on the Congress. The BJP has taken a huge gamble, effected a generational change. We'll know how it goes over time. On the other side, juxtapose it with the Congress. Still, the resignation of a Kamal Nath hasn't been asked for.
Absolutely right. It is very interesting. 3 days ago, I think it was on Thursday or Friday, that we put out a flash saying Kamal Nath resigns as Madhya Pradesh Congress chief. I got a call from Mr. Kamal Nath's office saying, please remove it. We have not handed over our resignation. So Kamal Nath appears by all accounts to be still digging his heels in, at least at the moment not resigning. And neither is Ashok Gehlot giving indication that he intends to step down anytime soon. But because the Congress High Command is so weakened, they are unable to enforce their authority. Look, a high command culture is only as good and bad as your political authority. Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah ji can do what they are at the moment because they are vote catchers. And when you're a vote catcher, you can decide who you want as your chief minister. Remember, the BJP leadership certainly believes that it is Modi ki guarantee that worked above all else. It wasn't some chief minister's, it wasn't Shivraj Singh Chouhan's personal appeal that made the difference. Yes, Ladli Behna and the schemes initiated by his government were important, but in the end, it was Modi ki guarantee that made the difference. If that's the philosophy that you have, then the chief minister becomes almost irrelevant who you make, and no one really can dissent. In the Congress, on the other hand, the Congress leadership is unable to enforce its writ at times, and we've seen that in the way Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot in particular played out, the manner in which Jyotiraditya Scindia left the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh. So I think it's a tale of two high commands, one which has supreme political authority, one which has diminished political authority.
You know, the other thing that really stands out for me is that if you put the Congress in the situation that it was right now, we'd perhaps have known who the next chief minister was going to be much before, versus with the BJP High Command, there's no way you're going to get any sort of leads on who could be the next chief minister, which is what happened. You know, you had several contenders, and then the name of Mohan Yadav came out of the blue suddenly and caught everyone completely off guard. He ticks all the right boxes in that sense, you know, considering that he is an OBC face. The BJP has been talking about generational change. They managed that also with Mohan Yadav. But I want to just briefly cut across to reactions coming in, and then I'll bring in Polami as well as Hemender, who are live with us from the ground.
मैं केंद्रीय नेतृत्व पे माननीय यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री, माननीय यशस्वी गृह मंत्री, हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष नड्डा जी, मैं सभी का आभार मानता हूं, केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का, प्रदेश नेतृत्व का। तो मोहन जी, शिवराज सिंह चौहान, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह जी चौहान से
अभी केवल नेता का चुनाव हुआ है और मोहन यादव जी अभी विधायक दल के नेता चुने गए। बधाई उनको, बहुत सारी बधाई, बहुत बधाई, शुभकामनाएं हमारी, और सब मिलके काम करेंगे।
प्राथमिकताएं क्या रहेंगी आपकी?
प्राथमिकताएं विकास, ये अभी तो मुख्यमंत्री जी का हुआ है, मोहन यादव जी अपने विधायक दल के नेता चुने गए हैं, उनको बधाई, उनको शुभकामनाएं जी।
तो आपको क्या जिम्मेदारी दी गई है?
अभी कोई अधिकृत जानकारी नहीं है,
तो आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश के नवनिर्वाचित विधायक दल की बैठक हमारे केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक आदरणीय मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी के नेतृत्व में, आदरणीय के लक्ष्मण जी और आदरणीय सुश्री आशा लकड़ा जी राष्ट्रीय सचिव, तीनों केंद्रीय पर्यवेक्षक के नेतृत्व में बैठक संपन्न हुई है। उस बैठक में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता मुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने मोहन यादव जी का नाम प्रस्तावित किया मध्य प्रदेश के नए नेता के लिए, विधायक दल के नेता के लिए। और हमारे केंद्रीय मंत्री रहे वरिष्ठ नेता आदरणीय नरेंद्र सिंह तोमर जी, आदरणीय कैलाश विजयवर्गीय जी, आदरणीय प्रहलाद पटेल जी, आदरणीय मध्य प्रदेश के हमारे सभी वरिष्ठ नेतृत्व ने उनके प्रस्ताव का आज अभी समर्थन किया है। और मैं मोहन यादव जी मध्य प्रदेश के विधायक दल के नए नेता के तौर पर आज वो निर्वाचित हुए हैं। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी मध्य प्रदेश की ओर से, मध्य प्रदेश के करोड़ों करोड़ कार्यकर्ताओं की ओर से उन्हें बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी, जो हरियाणा के सीएम हैं, जो आज यहाँ मेन ऑब्जर्वर बन के आए थे। उनके साथ 2 ऑब्जर्वर भी थे। मनोहर लाल जी, किस ढंग से ये चयन हुआ, कौन प्रस्तावक थे, और ये नाम अचानक जो चर्चा में भी नहीं था?
देखिए, ये सारा विषय प्रदेश की जो एक टीम होती है और विधायक दल के जो प्रमुख लोग होते हैं वो सब बैठ करके विचार करते हैं, एक एक नाम पर विचार करते हैं और उसके बाद पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड के उस पर मोहर लगती है, तब जा करके ये सारी चीज़ें होती है। प्रदेश के जो वर्तमान मुख्यमंत्री हैं उन्होंने स्वयं इच्छा पकड़ी है कि इस नाम का प्रस्तावना मैं करूँगा, उन्होंने प्रस्तावना की और बाकी जो प्रमुख 9-10 लोग हैं उन्होंने उसका समर्थन किया, अनुमोदन किया और उसके बाद पूरे विधायक दल ने उसका समर्थन किया।
अचानक ये नाम कोई चर्चा में नहीं, ना राजनीति,
ये विषय जो यहाँ के स्थानीय नेता हैं ये उनकी आपसी समझ होती है। ये इस विषय में हमारा पर्यवेक्षक के नाते कोई रोल नहीं होता है। पर्यवेक्षक का तो ये है सब मिलकर के जिसका भी चयन करे मिलकर चयन कर ले।
आलाकमान की क्या भूमिका थी इसमें?
इसमें जब ये नाम कोई जाता है तो उसके ऊपर वहाँ के लोग चर्चा करते हैं, उसके ऊपर मोहर लगाते हैं, उन्होंने मोहर लगाई और घोषणा हो गई।
तो कैसे रहेंगे आगे की 2024 की राजनीति को देखते हुए मोहन यादव जी?
देखिए, निश्चित रूप से जो मुझे जानकारी ली है और वो 3 बार के विधायक हैं और संगठन से जुड़े हुए पुराने व्यक्ति हैं। उन्होंने संघ में, उन्होंने विद्यार्थी परिषद में, उन्होंने भारतीय जनता पार्टी में एक लंबा काम किया है। मुझे लगता है कि इस प्रदेश को आगे लेकर के बढ़ेंगे।
Central observer Manohar Lal Khattar there saying that this was a decision that was thought through and they considered several factors before going ahead and choosing Mohan Yadav. Paulami Saha and Hemendra Sharma are live with us. They were of course on ground when the news broke. Paulami, you were taken aback. I remember we were live on the broadcast. You did say that this came as a huge surprise. And I sensed that among BJP supporters as well. Many of them were saying they want the return of Mamaji. Some were backing, saying we want an OBC face, we want the likes of Prahlad Patel. Nobody saw this coming of Mohan Yadav being named.
Absolutely nobody saw this coming. You know, we saw the faces over here as Heminder, my colleague, broke that news on India Today that Mohan Yadav is going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. The faces around, there was suddenly pin drop silence. You know, there was a lot of noise in the air. There was a lot of dhol. There was a lot of sloganeering that was happening. And suddenly there was pin drop silence with many probably asking who as the name was announced. And then, of course, sort of recovering from the shock of it, to then come back and say, oh, the higher education minister of Madhya Pradesh has just been anointed the next chief minister of the state. He's CM designate now. Clearly, there was a surprise element as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party was concerned. This is something that we have been adding as a disclaimer, Akshata, to all of the lists that we've been putting out, be it a Chhattisgarh or Madhya Pradesh or even Rajasthan now, a disclaimer saying, at the end of the day, we still don't know what the party is thinking because it could still spring a surprise. Manohar Lal Khattar himself was a surprise when he was announced as the Chief Minister of the state of Haryana a few years ago. Correct. And then, of course, now this name, Pushkar Dhami, Bhupendra Patel, many such names, you know, that you can think of. Yogi Adityanath, of course, the biggest surprise.
Once again, because it's gone exactly the way it went in Gujarat. And I remember, you know, you were reporting and I was anchoring. Will you once again take us through on how Bhupendra Yadav Patel's name was announced in a very similar fashion? Exactly what happened today?
It's one of those anecdotes that has gone down in history, and a lot of us reporters, you know, were recounting that episode, saying this is literally what happens, and trust this to happen when we, of course, report out of a Madhya Pradesh or a Rajasthan. We've been speculating so much, it amounts to nothing because this is the sort of surprise. Bhupendra Patel did not see it coming. Bhupendra Patel was sitting in the last row of the conference hall, completely oblivious to the proceedings, did not even see this happening. You know, he was very busy on his phone and, you know, just basically oblivious. And Narendra Tomar at that time was a central observer in Gujarat, and he gave a 45-minute long speech because it was still being finalized, is what we're being told. And suddenly he announced the name. Bhupendra Patel did not hear it. He was oblivious to it. And then someone turned around and said, "Sir, aap neta ban gaye." And he said, "Main to neta hu." And then the person told him, "Sir, aap Vidhayak Dal ke neta ban gaye." And that's when Bhupendra Patel realized the cameras were going all over the room, trying to figure where is Bhupendra Patel, who is this gentleman whose name has been announced. Suddenly we zeroed in on the last row, and Bhupendra Patel had stood up, white shirt, black trousers. flashing the victory sign.
And so, you know, from the story you're telling us, I think our viewers can forgive us if we didn't guess the name of Mohan Yadav before the announcement, because clearly even those within the BJP have absolutely no clue. Was it a similar scene that played out in today's meeting as well, Heminder, that Mohan Yadav was seated somewhere, had no clue his name would be announced?
Well, absolutely. In fact, no one had any idea about who's going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. No one was given, and all the names that we had been discussing, no one was ever given any hint. No clue was given to them. So that's why all of them were a little anxious before going inside into the meeting. They said they didn't have any idea as to who's going to be the next Chief Minister. And when Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan, when he proposed the name of Mohan Yadav, there was everyone was surprised, and we spoke to people inside the hall. They said that there was pin drop silence for a moment, and then the congratulations thing started. And outside as well, people were completely surprised. No one expected Mohan Yadav to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. It took some time for people over here. Most of the people who were here outside the BJP office were belonging to one group or the other, but of only those people who we had been talking about. Mohan Yadav, there was no supporter of Mohan Yadav. Ultimately, we managed to find one of his nephews. He was there, he spoke to us. But amongst the common people, those who were here outside, none of them were supporters of Mohan Yadav, and no one anticipated this, no one expected this. It came as a surprise.
We were live with you when you managed to find one supporter of Mohan Yadav standing among the crowd of hundreds of people who had gathered there outside the BJP headquarters. So he didn't even know to ensure that, you know, his supporters had gathered there to root for him. No one was present there. One person who came up and said that, you know, I was rooting for Mohan Yadav. I want to now play out for you the reactions of Mohan Yadav, the Chief Minister, the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, his family members, who reportedly found out that he is going to be the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh by watching TV channels. They had no clue, they didn't get any phone call, they were watching what was happening live, and then they saw the news break here on India Today and Aaj Tak that Mohan Yadav is the chosen one.
महाकाल बाबा ने बहुत खुशी का दिन दिखाया है, ये बहुत अच्छा लगा मुख्यमंत्री बनने से। और
मतलब अब आप मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री की श्रीमती जी हैं, क्या कहेंगी? घर पे कैसे रहते हैं मोहन जी, किस तरह से आपने सोचा था मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे?
उनकी मेहनत फल लाई है, महाकाल बाबा का आशीर्वाद मिला है जो वो मुख्यमंत्री बने हैं, और सेवा के लिए तैयार है, जनता की सेवा करेंगे।
घर में किस तरह का खुशी का माहौल है?
बहुत खुशी का माहौल है, खुशी का कोई ठिकाना ही नहीं है, कुछ बता ही नहीं सकते कितनी खुशी हुई है।
परिवार में कौन कौन क्या कहना है सबका?
सबको बहुत अच्छा लगा, सब बहुत खुश है सीएम बनने से। तो
अब आपको कुछ अपने आप में अंतर लगेगा कि नहीं, आप वैसे ही रहेंगी, उज्जैन वालों से वैसे ही मिलेंगी, आप वैसे ही श्रीमती
जैसे है वैसे ही रहेंगे, कहना नहीं है।
प्रदेश के विकास में उनका अच्छा योगदान रहेगा,
बहुत अच्छा योगदान रहेगा उनका, और काम के लिए बैठे हैं, काम करेंगे, जनता की सेवा कर रहे हैं, करते रहेंगे।
बधाई, आपको भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और निश्चित रूप से प्रसन्नता की तो बात है ही, घर में सबसे छोटे हैं मोहन भैया, पांचों भाई बहन में हमने, और उन्होंने पार्टी की शुरू से ही विद्यार्थी परिषद के समय से लगातार प्रयासरत रहे हैं, सेवा के कार्य में हमेशा अग्रणी रहे हैं, चाहे वो प्राधिकरण में रहे हों, चाहे पर्यटन में रहे हों, चाहे विधायक रहे हों, चाहे मंत्री रहे हों, हमेशा सहज सरल। जिम्मेदारी है, बड़ी जिम्मेदारी है, उस जिम्मेदारी को पूरी निष्ठा के साथ निभाएंगे, और सारे लोग हम भी उनके साथ सेवा कार्य में जुटे रहेंगे।
सीढ़ी है कि कड़ी मेहनत से चढ़ी है, उसका फल आज हमारे मामा जी को हम सबको मिला है, क्योंकि उनने और ईमानदारी से, बहुत ईमानदारी से करा है देश के लिए काम, तो उसका फल उनको मिला है।
बहुत खुशी की बात है, उन संघर्ष भी बहुत है, 1984 से सतत काम किया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी का, और हम विद्यार्थी परिषद के कार्यकर्ता के रूप में राष्ट्रीय स्तर तक काम किया है और सतत काम किया है। निश्चित रूप से उसका परिणाम है, बड़ों का आशीर्वाद है, पार्टी का आशीर्वाद है, और बाबा महाकाल का आशीर्वाद।
उस टाइम में उनसे मिला, उन्हें क्या अभी निर्णय आएगा, जो भी आएगा अच्छा आएगा।
और मामी जी से भी बात हुई कि सिर्फ मामा?
नहीं, अभी हाल तो मामा से अब बात करेंगे, अभी निकलने का इंतजार कर रहे हैं हम सब।
मामी जी को इन्फॉर्मेशन टीवी के थ्रू ही मिली?
नहीं, टीवी के द्वारा मिल गई उनको, वो अभी मैंने बात करी तो उनको मिल गई सबको।
So relatives, kin obviously elated, but for Mohan Yadav. While it's all about celebration now, he's going to have to hit the ground running, particularly because he has a legacy to really live up to and to take forward the work of Shivraj Singh Chouhan. He's also going to have to prove himself to be the right choice to the BJP High Command. With months to go for 2024, that will be again a big test for Mohan Yadav. I'd like to thank Paulami and Hemendra. On the other side of a short break, we're going to be focusing on the state of Rajasthan. We know now the chief ministers of Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. So 2 down, 1 to go. And going by what's happened in the last 24 hours in these 2 states, it's clear that Rajasthan is also going to be a big surprise for everyone. We'll get you details on what to expect on the other side.
Today Group sweeps the ITA 2023 awards from Best English News Channel India Today TV to Best Hindi News Channel Aaj Tak and the ultimate ITA Scroll of Honor for Nari Shakti Exemplary Leadership.
ये गर्व का मौका है कि मेरे नारी शक्ति के समर्थन और संकल्प को इस मंच ने और ताकत दी है। लंबे वक्त से बहुत से लोग ये बताते रहे कि एक आदमी की सफलता के पीछे एक औरत का हाथ होता है। अब वक्त बदला है। हर सफलता खुद हासिल करने के लिए हम सब आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। आत्मनिर्भर भारत की नींव आत्मनिर्भर नारी शक्ति ही बनेगी। एक नई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इस सम्मान के साथ मुझे मिली है। मैं इसे अपनी पूरी कमिटमेंट से निभाऊंगी।
Most trusted, most awarded. India Today, India's maximum channel.
Welcome back. Now, even as the announcement has been made over Madhya Pradesh and who the next chief minister will be, all eyes now are on Rajasthan with the question of kaun banega Rajasthan ka chief minister. The suspense is brewing. In hopefully 24 hours from now, we'll find out. As Central Observer Rajnath Singh is expected to be in Jaipur tomorrow. There will be a legislative party meet where in all likelihood, the Central Observers will convey to the MLAs what the High Command's decision is. Political activity is gathering steam. There are, of course, a lot of names doing the rounds and the focus is particularly on the likes of Vasundhara Raje, of Baba Balaknath. But this could go any way, keeping in mind especially what we've seen in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh.
पर्यवेक्षक जब आएंगे यहाँ पर क्या विधायकों से रायशुमारी होगी, पहले उसके बाद घोषणा होगी या फिर कोई संदेश लेकर वो आएंगे संदेशवाहक के तौर पर और नाम की घोषणा जो कि केंद्रीय नेतृत्व ने तय किया होगा उसको बताएंगे?
ये तो पर्यवेक्षक ही बता पाएंगे और उनके आने के बाद जो भी प्रक्रिया होगी निश्चित रूप से
तो अभी तक कोई तारीख तय नहीं हुई है सर? कब
मैं कह रहा हूँ जल्दी आपको सूचना देंगे
सर। 16 तारीख से मलमास लगने की बात है,
शीघ्र होगा और उससे पहले सब कुछ होगा।
उससे पहले ही आप कह रहे हैं और जो शपथ ग्रहण है वो भी उससे पहले ही हो जाएगा सर, 16 तारीख से पहले?
देखिए विधायक दल की बैठक होते ही सब कुछ फिर आगे की सारी प्रक्रियाएं शीघ्र
कह सकते हैं सर 16 तारीख से पहले ही दोनों काम हो जाएंगे?
लगता है सही है।
और पीड़ा समाप्ति की ओर है, दिनों की दूरियां घंटों में सिमट चुकी है।
आला कमान के हमारे दूत देश के रक्षा मंत्री जी जल्दी आएंगे और जल्दी निर्णय हो जाएगा। प्रतिपक्ष के नेता का अगर वो चयन कर लेते तो शायद नैतिकता के आधार पर वो सवाल कर सकते थे। वो क्यों भूल जाते हैं कि पिछली बार मुख्यमंत्री कौन बनेगा तब भी 9-10 दिन लगे थे और उसके बाद मुख्यमंत्री की शपथ लेने से पहले लोग फिश प्लेट खोल रहे थे, रेल की पटरियों पर जा रहे थे। भारतीय जनता पार्टी में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा, यहाँ ना ऐसी संस्कृति है, जल्दी निर्णय हो जाएगा।
All right, Preeti Chaudhary is also with us. Preeti, do you dare to really harbor a guess on who could be announced as the Chief Minister of Rajasthan?
No, I'm not that brave. You know, I think it's a classic Rajasthan Russian roulette, which is going to happen tomorrow, because at the back of it, you know, it's a joke, but at the back of it, there will be many today in the Rajasthan BJP unit who would be fancying their chances. They'd be taking out their Sunday best and thinking, ho sakta hai. You know,
it's actually possible.
Yeah, it's actually possible. But I'll tell you what was common in the 3 names or the 4 names that have been picked, of course, other than caste representation across the state of Madhya Pradesh, and you balance it out with a tribal face in Chhattisgarh, and here you have a Yadav, who's an OBC, you have a Tomar, who's a Rajput as the speaker, you know, you have a Devra, who's a Dalit, and then you have, you know, Rajendra Shukla, who's upper caste. Other than all of that, what they have in common is they've been loyal supporters of the BJP and workers of the BJP for a very long time. Most of the, all three of them have been the deputy, the 2 deputy and the CM have been sitting cabinet ministers handling different portfolios. They have been on their constituency at least elected twice or 3 times over, and they won with a massive mandate. And they've always been considered as Bharatiya Janata Party loyalists, and they don't really fall into any camps. So with that in question, I think if you apply the same logic in Rajasthan, there will be many who'd be looking at it. You know, I'll tell you what the local Satta Bazaar was saying in Rajasthan. So till about 3 days ago, it was Kirodi Lal Meena. Okay. He's going to be the front runner, Kirodi Lal Meena, you know, in terms of, and then have a few deputies to balance the caste angle. Then, you know, just about yesterday, there was the name of a Diya Kumari, which is really strange because earlier on, there was nobody anticipated a Diya Kumari to be the front runner, even though she was being pulled up as somebody, you know, parallel to Vasundhara Raje. But the sheer fact that she's royalty, you know, upper caste, one would think at this point of time, the BJP wouldn't go with that guess.
But there
her
is
name
this
did come
factor,
up.
which is that, you know, there's a lot of talk about this. In Chhattisgarh, you know, a tribal CM. Here, Madhya Pradesh, OBC. Rajasthan, a woman.
See, that's the point. You know, that was my third point that I was coming to. Because earlier on, you know, there was Renuka Singh maybe in, you know, Chhattisgarh.
Yes.
So that woman angle would be balanced. So I would now harbor a guess it could be a woman. But, you know, the reason that in Madhya Pradesh, the BJP Akshata could effect a generational change without any hiccups is because it was a wave election. You know, when you have numbers like that, you can actually do whatever you want. And you know that numbers will hold. Rajasthan, the BJP is not very comfortable as the numbers it would have wanted to stack up on the board. Having said that, you are right. I do see a woman being the, you know, the chief minister. And I don't quite see Vasundhara getting that chair.
How do you think Vasundhara Raje would be seeing what's happened in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh? Do you think that she'd be hopeful because no woman has been chosen? Or do you think she'd see what's happened to a Raman Singh, what's happened to a Shivraj Singh Chouhan and say, look, it doesn't look good for me?
You know, also what didn't look good for her were the optics of political muscle flexing, where she got in over 44 MLAs, or the MLAs came to see her. You know, that's what she said. But she did pick up the phone and speak to the High Command in the BJP and said, listen, I'm a Karyakarta of the BJP. I will never fall out of line. Whatever the BJP wants, I will do. But having said that, those optics were there and they were there for a reason. So Vasundhara Raje Scindia is also no Shivraj Singh. You know, she's different in terms of a political leader, a tad bit more mercurial. Will it go down well with her that somebody's picked over her? She might suggest to the High Command not, but, you know, what we're picking up from ground is contrary.
Okay. Can she rebel is the question also.
Even if she rebels, she doesn't have the numbers, you know. So she really has no elbow room, political elbow room at play. But when you look at the long run, you know, Akshata, you have to break it down in terms of how many seats. 29 seats in Madhya Pradesh, 28 the BJP won, Lok Sabha seats. The BJP won the last time around. The BJP maxed out Rajasthan. 25 out of 25, the BJP won where it came down the last time around. And this is the area, you know, I don't want to get into the north-south divide, but when you do the calculus like that, you've got to look at it, the Hindi heartland, the BJP needs to hold what it won the last time around to get, and the BJP wants to go 400 par this time. So to get that number, you've got to hold on to these seats, and they need to get a person in the top position who enables that.
And electorally,
who
they know
trust.
how important these three states
There'll definitely be deputy CMs, I see.
Okay.
There will definitely be representation of different caste groups, 100%, because Rajasthan, largely rural, whether we like it or not, is run on the metrics of caste.
Okay, so that's as far as you will go and really having a guess of what's expected tomorrow.
After today, no guess.
I can understand that to a great extent with what happened today, and when suddenly the name of Mohan Yadav came up out of nowhere, when we had about 5 names, all of who were doing the rounds, we had front runners, all of that. Mohan Yadav's name was nowhere on that list. Was nowhere on that list. We're putting out names right now. Let's see if any of them are named as the Chief Minister tomorrow.
CP Joshi to that also now.
All right, let's see if CP Joshi is in that list. But thanks very much, Preeti, for joining us here in our studios. I'm slipping into a very, very short break. Of course, we're going to track all the drama that's playing out over the announcement of the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh of what's expected tomorrow in Rajasthan. But I also want to briefly focus on the political showdown that's playing out on the IT raids at Congress MP Dheeraj Sahu's residence. 6 days on, counting still happening. We've reached about 350 crores, but it could go much higher because many more piles of cash are yet to be counted.
The Solicitor General, appearing for the Union of India, submitted that statehood will be restored to Jammu and Kashmir and that its status as a union territory is temporary. The Solicitor General submitted that the status of the Union Territory of Ladakh will not be affected by the restoration of statehood to Jammu and Kashmir. In view of the submission made by the Solicitor General that statehood would be restored of Jammu and Kashmir, we do not find it necessary to determine whether the reorganization of the state of Jammu and Kashmir into 2 union territories of Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir is permissible under Article 3. The status of Ladakh as a union territory is upheld under Article 370, Clause 1 by the President, indicates that the gradual process of constitutional integration was ongoing. The declaration issued by the President in exercise of the power under Clause 3 of Article 370 is a culmination of the process of integration. Thus, we do not find that the President's exercise of power under Clause 3 of Article 370 was mala fide.
Air quality today. In Delhi, 315. In Mumbai, 106. In Kolkata, 179. In Bangalore, 61. In Chennai, 90. In Hyderabad, 91.
It's been 6 days now since the IT department raided Congress MP Dheeraj Sahu's residences in Odisha and Jharkhand, and the counting is still underway. Right now, cash machines are being used. There are hundreds of officials, we're being told, who are right now busy as part of this operation. 351 crores of cash has been counted, but there are many more piles that are yet to be counted right now. So IT officials are camped at Congress MP Sahu's residences right now. Munish Pandey is joining us with more details on the story as well. Munish, what are the updates you're really picking up from officials? As far as the investigation goes, I'm guessing they've hit pause on it till they finish counting first.
Akshita, we have been given to understand is that the counting is still underway and the counting of small denomination notes is still going on, and the figure is likely to cross more than 355 crore rupees. As far as IT officials are concerned, remember, not only the cash amount, why it is taking time, because it is not only the cash amount, also there are kilograms of jewelries which have been seized by the IT officials. So even that is being accounted by the IT officials, and that is why it is still taking time. The IT officials, not only from Odisha, but also from the nearby states like Jharkhand, from Bombay, from Hyderabad, those officials are also there to assist the local officials, and bank officials of State Bank of India are assisting the IT officials in counting the notes. So the procedure is still going on, and as far as IT department is concerned, what they are claiming that this is historic, because before even before this they have not seized such amount of huge cash. And in all of this, politics is already going on, because the connection of this company, Bodh Distillery Private Limited, this company is with Congress Rajya Sabha MP Dheeraj Sahu, and BJP is already targeting the Congress party on the corruption issue.
All right, Munish, thanks very much for getting us all of those updates. Counting still happening. You've got officials being roped in from different parts of the country to be a part of the process right now. Look at those images, viewers. For the last 6 days, we've been getting you these pictures, and every day there are more cash piles that are being pulled out so the counting can continue. Somewhere near 355 crores is where it's expected to hit tomorrow, and then maybe even more than that, as officials are still conducting these raids at the premises of Congress leader and Rajya Sabha MP Dheeraj Sahu in Odisha and Jharkhand. Now, the BJP has in fact taken this up massively, leading protests targeting the Congress over alleged corruption. The Congress, meanwhile, is trying hard to distance itself from this member of parliament who they nominated to the Rajya Sabha 3 times. They're saying that this is his personal business and he must explain where he got this cash from.
Counting the unaccounted, a staggering 351 crore rupees in cash has been seized thus far. The highest single action recovery by the Income Tax Department. These confiscations transpired during a 5-day relentless search at an Odisha-based distillery, owned by the family of Congress MP Dheeraj Prasad Sahu. The Income Tax Department conducted a raid on Bodh Distillery Private Limited, its promoters and associates on December 6, suspecting tax evasion, undisclosed transactions stemming from the sale of country liquor by the business group and its distributors and others. A team of 200 officials, including security personnel and support staff, participated in raids at multiple locations in Odisha. Cupboards crammed with banknotes were opened. Around 200 bags and trunks used to transport the seized cash to various banks in Odisha. The recoveries from locations associated with the Congress's Rajya Sabha member from Jharkhand, who identifies himself as a political and social worker and industrialist, have sparked a political uproar. The BJP staged a protest to corner the Congress. Party chief JP Nadda demanded an explanation from the Gandhis regarding the substantial haul.
बार बार IT, ED एजेंसीज इन पर आरोप लगाते रहे हैं। आज भारतीय जनता पार्टी, कांग्रेस पार्टी और स्पष्ट रूप में राहुल गांधी से पूछना चाहती है कि धीरज साहू के ठिकानों से निकला हुआ काला धन, उस पर उनको क्या कहना है?
Congress distanced itself from Sahu's business activities and advised him to disclose the source of the seized banknotes. The BJP has been unyielding, hinting at a Gandhi link with the cash seizure. Home Minister Amit Shah challenged Congress allies to speak up.
कांग्रेस का मौन तो हमें समझ में आता है, क्योंकि इनकी फितरत ही भ्रष्टाचार की है। परंतु चाहे तृणमूल कांग्रेस हो, चाहे जेडीयू हो, चाहे आरजेडी हो, ये सारे दल डीएमके सहित चुप बैठे हैं। सपा भी चुप बैठी है, कोई रिएक्शन नहीं। अब मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि मोदी जी के खिलाफ ये जो एक प्रचार अभियान चला कि एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग हुआ है, वो क्यों चलाया गया? क्योंकि इनके जहन में एक डर था कि हमारे करप्शन के सारे कच्चे चिट्ठे खुल जाएंगे।
The Samajwadi Party, on the other hand, alleged that the cash recoveries reflected the failure of demonetization, which purportedly aimed at curbing unaccounted wealth. Meanwhile, the counting of notes from the massive seizures continue through both manpower and machine. Pressure mounts on Congress, which staunchly opposes corruption-related raids as political witch hunt. As of now, no statement has been issued by the 68-year-old Rajya Sabha member. Bureau Report, India Today.
And that's all we have time for in this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. Coming up on the other side, Mission 2024 with Preeti Chaudhary. She's going to be running you through the decision taken by the BJP High Command of naming Mohan Yadav as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh.
आज जो हरकत मरकजी सरकार ने पार्लियामेंट के अंदर नाजायज, गैर कानूनी, गैर आईनी की, उसको जो जायज करार दिया गया, वो जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए ही नहीं बल्कि आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया, हिंदुस्तान के तस्वुर के लिए एक सजाए मौत की खबर से कम नहीं है।
ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बेंच के इस फैसले के बाद अब जम्मू कश्मीर के अंदर धारा 370 को लेकर सियासत बंद होगी। यहां इस पर कटाक्ष और टीका टिप्पणी बंद होंगी और सब मिलजुल कर, हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई, सब मिलजुल कर, एक होकर जम्मू कश्मीर के डेवलपमेंट के रास्ते के ऊपर आगे बढ़ेंगे।
The state of Jammu and Kashmir does not retain any element of sovereignty after the execution of the instrument of accession and the issuance of the proclamation dated 25 November 1949, by which the Constitution of India was adopted. The state of Jammu and Kashmir does not have internal sovereignty, which is distinguishable from the powers and privileges enjoyed by other states in the country. Article 370 was a feature of asymmetric federalism and not sovereignty.
जो यूनानिमस जजमेंट थी, ये सुनकर बहुत निराशा हुई, बहुत अफसोस हुआ। मैं शुरू से ही कह रहा था कि दो अदारे हैं जो इसका फैसला कर सकता है, एक पार्लियामेंट, मरकजी सरकार, और दूसरा सुप्रीम कोर्ट। 4 महीने इस पर बहस हुई पार्लियामेंट के अंदर, और उसके बाद जो आज यूनानिमस फैसला आया, उससे मेरे ख्याल में जम्मू कश्मीर के सभी लोग, चाहे वो कश्मीर के हों या जम्मू सूबा के, वो खुश नहीं हैं।
The deepening rift between the Senate Republicans and the Democrats over border policy seeks to put US's foreign policy on Ukraine funding in a tight spot. Negotiators are trying to reach a deal with the Republicans after they blocked the aid bill to Ukraine. President Joe Biden urged the United States planned to announce $175 million in additional Ukraine aid from its dwindling supply of money for Kyiv. Meanwhile, aid to Ukraine has become a major topic of discussion even in the Republican presidential primaries, where Vivek Ramaswamy tore into his opponents, making a case against sending further funds to Ukraine. The White House warned this week that the US is running out of time and money to help Ukraine repel Russia's invasion. Earlier, the Congress had approved about $113 billion for Ukraine since Russia's invasion. But it has not backed any new funds. Border security with Mexico is a major issue, weighing on the negotiations about Ukraine and Israel funding. With Mahashweta Lala, Bureau Report, India Today.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 24 and minimum 11 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 29 and minimum 24 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 26 and minimum 15 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 25 and minimum 20 degrees. Chennai, maximum 28 and minimum 24 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 17 degrees. Evening viewers, let's take a look at the weather report across the major cities this evening. Thiruvananthapuram is at 33 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 92. Mumbai is at 33 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 132. Panji is at 31 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 123. Ahmedabad is at 28 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 142. Bhopal is at 25 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 115. Jaipur is at 24 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 132. Delhi is at 23 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 320. Srinagar is at 10 degrees Celsius with AQI being 139. Lucknow is at 23 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 212. Patna is at 25 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 205. Kolkata is at 24 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 158. Hyderabad is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 102. Bangalore is at 26 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 105. Chennai is at 29 degrees Celsius with an AQI of 108. This is all we have for you in this segment. Hope wherever you are, you find favorable weather around you. Keep watching India Today for all the weather updates with me AI Sana all through the day.
Co-presented by Aapka Joy, Bharat Ka Joy, Joy E-Bike. Co-presented by Nexa, Create Inspire. Co-powered by Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel India, बनाऊंगा मैं, बनेगा भारत.
Good evening, you're watching Mission 2024. Madhya Pradesh has a new chief minister who, as word is, only found out that he was the chief minister just about an hour and a half ago. Dr. Mohan Yadav is the new chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. A huge googly coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party there. That's our top focus, but a quick look at the headlines. Picking the unexpected, the BJP top brass Madhya Pradesh Higher Education Minister Mohan Yadav promoted to Chief Minister. Mama Shivraj Singh Chouhan's rule ends after 18 long years. All eyes on state of Rajasthan, where newly elected BJP MLAs will hold a legislature meeting on Tuesday to finalize the new chief minister. Big boost for Modi government in top court. Unanimous SC verdict upholds Article 370.